Good morning from Las Vegas, Nevada in the United States. The famous Las Vegas Strip, the Bellagio fountains, the traffic, the Hoover Dam. One of the engineering marvels of the 20th century. What a view. Got time, you can head to the Oasis for a little bit of golf in the desert. But it's curling time here in Las Vegas. We are at the Orleans Arena, venue for the 361 World Men's Curling Championship 2018. Our feature match in session 15 is Norway taking on Scotland. And here come the teams. Team Norway making their way onto the ice on a Thursday morning, a big day for both of these teams. This game has playoff implications. Team Scotland making their way into the venue. Lots of Scottish support have made their way to Las Vegas in hopes that their team is in the frame come playoff time. So let's meet our teams. Team Norway at lead is Magnus Vaberg. Magnus Nedregoten is at second. Marcus Højberg playing at third. And the skip is Stefan Mazda. And they'll be taking on the team from Scotland. At lead, Hammy McMillan. At second is Bobby Lammy. At third, Grant Hardy. And the skip is Bruce Moet. Let's take a look at the standings. This is why this game is so important. Canada, Scotland, Sweden all deadlocked at 7-1. Norway just behind them at 6-3. Russia at 5-3 alongside Switzerland, followed by Korea, China, Italy, the Netherlands, USA, Japan, and Germany. We'll keep an eye on all the games for you this morning. Our feature match, Norway versus Scotland. On sheet B, Sweden's taking on China. The Netherlands faces Switzerland on sheet C, and on sheet D, Italy takes on Korea. Hans Fraunla with you, and I'm joined by Alison Kreviazek. Good morning, Allie.
Good morning, indeed.
This one should be awesome.
It should be. We've got Norway suffering a pretty crushing loss last evening. Had a draw for the win. It came up light.
Ouch.
So they're going to be coming out in full force this morning against the Scottish team. They've taken some big ends this competition. Not afraid to put some rocks in play.
That's what we like to see.
I think it's going to be an exciting game here this morning.
Wherever you're joining us, we're glad you're with us. This one should be a beauty. New playoff format here at the 361 World Men's. 13-team expanded field, so it's a 6-team playoff. And the reason this game is so important, there's a real prize for finishing first and second, isn't there, Allie?
There is indeed. The top 2 teams in the round robin get a automatic placement into the semi-final.
That's huge.
That is huge. So they get to bypass that quarterfinal play where they would have a 3, 4, 5, 6
qualifying games.
Yeah. Exactly.
So tons to play for this morning. Up bright and early on a beautiful day in the desert. Curling in the desert. Gotta love it.
I know I do.
Scotland will have last rock in the first end by virtue of having a better pregame last stone draw. Scotland will be playing the yellow stones and Norway playing the red stones. So after all the pregame hoopla and noise and music, time to get underway and do some curling. Magnus Vaberg gets us underway. Curling, one of those sports where Pedigree seems to be passed from generation to generation. Magnus, very much part of a curling family. His father and his uncle have represented Norway with distinction, winning gold medals at the Winter Olympics. And here's another young man with a curling pedigree, Hammy McMillan. That's a familiar name, and you think that doesn't look like Hammy? Well, Hammy Jr. Father was 1999 world champion, Hammy McMillan.
Almost 4 foot. Go then, get off then. Right off. No, we're really good. Yeah, we're fully. Almost 4 foot. We are 4 foot.
Good. Nice come around draw there. Hammy's dad, Hammy Sr., I'll call him now, is here in Las Vegas supporting the team. Maybe in the arena this morning, although knowing Hammy Sr., this may be an early start for him.
I do see a group of Scottish fans there in the stands. I'm sure we'll hear some songs later on in the game.
Yeah, you usually hear the Scottish fans before you see them.
They do have some fantastic songs.
Absolutely they do. They bring real energy into the arena. It's always fun.
Wonderful freeze.
There's a look at the Scottish section.
Got their kilts on and everything.
Yep, the blue and white. Proudly represented here. Little cautious yawn there in the background. Morning coffee yet to come.
Lucky for them, even with the kilt, they just, even if they get a bit cold, they can go outside and warm up.
Head straight to the pool.
Oh my.
Wow. Yep, burned it, says McMillan. So that stone comes off. Likely a hog line violation. Watch closely to see if the light flashes red. There's an automatic detector on the light. Green is a legal throw.
So it would have been...
would have kicked the stone in motion.
Yeah.
Lammy probably with the brushing. Let's
there
watch
we
again.
go.
On the brush. No.
So coming in behind the stone like that, it actually, I think in my own experience at least, sometimes with these new brush pads, if they're a little bit old or perhaps even a little bit damp, they actually stick to the ice a little bit. So even in his best efforts to try and push it across, sometimes it just sticks on you a little bit.
Bites and grips a little bit.
It
on the
does,
ice
yeah.
surface.
And they're just so close to that stone. They want to be as efficient as possible. Doesn't leave much room for error.
Yeah, that's true. All of the competitors really proud of their sweeping ability, but none more than Scotland. There's a long tradition of strong Scottish sweeping.
I think I'm probably the same as Joshua. You're probably a couple feet. Yeah, same as Joshua. Same as Joshua.
Bobby Lemmy.
Like that, throw. Line's good. Wait's good. Way only. Way only. Grab. Wait's really good. No.
Good communication on that one, letting Bobby know that the weight's probably good here. They can throw the same as you mentioned, the draw shot. So they'd be referring to the 9-minute practice when they were able to throw their last stone draws towards the center. So just
mighty fine result there too.
Yeah.
Perfect freeze.
I'd say that was a fair assessment.
That's right, they got that one right. Well, Magnus Nedregotten.
You love that name.
I do love that name. I could say that name all day. Olympic bronze medalist in mixed doubles curling. The recent Pyeongchang Winter Olympics. Watch this finish. Look at that. Beauty.
Got really nice finish going towards the boards.
Scotland with the hammer.
I think that's tough. Might just do that. I think if I get it really good, I can get it onto the red. Okay, let's go for it then. Okay. Yeah, I like that too. 7/8, maybe a hair thinner. Yeah.
Bobby Lemmy thinking slash the 2 front stones and drive it back and maybe pick the red stone off the button as well. Bruce Mowat said, okay, good to go.
So you heard 7/8, so try and get the double here.
Okay, good shot.
Straight back. These games are scheduled for 10 ends, but there are 6 ends minimum of play. Each team has 38 minutes thinking time, and each team has 1 60-second timeout. So the center is a little bit more clear. Norwegian stone on the back of the button. Here's Marcus Viper.
This is going a bit deep. Sweeper saying it's top 12. They were just looking for this one to be tight of the rings. Not too far off.
That's pretty good.
It is pretty good, just hair too deep.
Straight back double now quite tempting for the Scots.
Peel or normal? Peel's fine.
Try to hit her right where Bruce Mowat's brush is. Grant Hardy.
Yep.
26, he's been curling for 19 years. Start him early in Scotland. Matches a little bit on the inside. Rolls over, gets a piece of the top 12 foot. So Norwegian stone on the back of the button. It's a bit of a survivor. Scots have had 2 passes at trying to run stones onto it. It's hanging around.
Yeah, so Magnus will have a second attempt at throwing the guard here. So just trying to throw it a little bit higher to make that double a little bit more difficult for Scotland.
Very nice guard, straddles the center line. There's Bruce Mowat.
You don't want to stop the yellow there. You almost better hit the red first, if you can. Okay.
Okay.
I think so.
You just get stuff it into the centre and then round 2 on top of the button. I think we can't come off the red first and go through. No.
No, you'd have to roll it sideways to do that.
Yeah.
Do you single peel it?
Guys thinking maybe there was a way to do a hit and through the hole, but that hole is not big enough. But they are able to get a double attempt here and maybe spin the shooter up.
Gotta go.
There's the
Just
spin.
like that.
Keep going. Keep going.
Very nicely played.
Nice, buddy.
That opens the front right up for Scotland. They've got the hammer here in the first. Nice work by Grant Hardy. Kind of an odd formation for the Rocks. 1 stone right on the back of the button and a bunch of stones frozen off the center line.
Okay. Midt på linja, optimalt. Ja. 2,5.
Det var jeg skal si jeg får til hogg også da på det. Men
Så litt glatt ut som dere dro for.
ja, det er jeg enig.
Stefan Mazda. It's amazing that in Norwegian curling, it seems it's almost like Chinese New Year's. Every 12 years, a new, really good men's team appears. First it was Paul Trilson, then 12 years later it was Thomas Ulsrud, and now Stefan Wallstedt. And this very good young team taking their place on the world stage.
We've had a fantastic week so far here at the World Championships. The 6-3 record. Losses to Canada, Russia, and then that tough one versus Switzerland last night.
squeezes him out, does it not?
Or we just peel the guard again.
It's like on the out, was that not there?
I'm not sure if it's there.
Yes.
Checking himself out on the Jumbotron, I think.
Hole doesn't look quite as big once you get down to the hack end to throw it.
No. Even, I mean, from here it looks tricky.
What you want?
90's close.
90's good.
But this is the straighter side. So should be able to hold it, especially with these powerful sweepers.
Nice weight.
Bruce Mowat.
Nice weight.
Scottish skip.
Yes. Touch heavy. Touch heavy.
They're by the top stone. Now is it going to curl enough to get by the stones in the rings? No, he just grazes it so close.
Try.
Okay.
Get in call right.
Threw that one really well. Had to get really close to the guard to make this shot, and he just grazes that stone on the top of the 8 foot. Repositions it though in an interesting way, Ali.
Yeah.
Might create some drag on that run in if maybe not enough drag to get to that stone on the back of the button.
I think you're just a shade off. Yeah, Bobby Lemmy was working hard on that to try and get some
Fikk du Magnussen der, eller? Husker du?
Just a bit of late
redirect.
finish.
Yeah, exactly. Try and
Kanskje sant?
carve that one in.
Det ser rimelig ut, ja.
6 er perfekt.
Ja.
Redstone belongs to Norway.
Yep.
Scotland has last rock. Wallstad.
Det ser bra ut. Grei i hvert fall. 5-6, 5-6, 5.
Perfekt. Gjerne full 4.
Linja der. Bare bak.
Linja perfekt.
5.
Ja. Litt frem.
Looking to duck another one in.
4.
And behind cover.
Love to have second shot. Not going to get it, but it does cut off the path to the button a little bit. Sits in third shot position. Makes this draw a little bit tougher for Bruce Mowat.
6.
Good end for the Norwegians, though. They are forcing Scotland to take a single point.
Yeah, I would say that would be a mission accomplished for Team Norway.
Ja, please hold.
No, it's stupid, but I think that angle run might be there for 4.
Hello. Bruce Mowat says angle run for 4.
Jams in the red for the ball.
Okay.
Briefly consider the circus shot.
Yeah.
10.
10.
Needing a piece of the button to score a single point.
It's close.
I think you're there.
Real close. Probably.
Looks here, boys.
Still in the guard. Not far away. Hammy are still in the
Got a
guard.
long way to go.
It's tracking a little bit. Is it going to get past the guard? No, it will not. Crashes the guard, and it's a single point steal for Norway. Norway with the first point. After one end of play, they lead it 1-0.
Lucky Bruce.
All right.
Bra, liksom. Bra spill. Ja, boys.
Setter mye press, og så ligger der også.
We can probably still kick a touch slower.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. Like decent end again, just.
Norway gets us started in the second end.
Litt tight, Markus som da. Ja, bare liksom kjempekøl over her.
We are live, curling in the desert. Orleans Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada, at the 361 World Men's Curling Championships, Norway versus Scotland. It's the morning show. Hans and Ali K in the morning. Starting your day right.
Sound like a news channel.
Absolutely.
Morning news here at the curling Orleans Curling Arena.
Tommy McMillan, Scotland with the hammer here in the first, going to throw a corner guard.
Seen a lot of teams throw the corner to the board side here. You're getting a little bit more curl. Able to get a good finish behind these corner guards.
Really gotta go.
He's gonna have to bring that a little further though.
Like it right up near those logos to
Yep. Right around the 6.
right around the 6.
Right around the 6. That's a good spot.
Now you're saying Norway would like to keep the pressure on in this end after really making Scotland work. They did get a bit of good fortune with one burned stone in the first end by the Scots, but Norway with a great start.
They did. I think they're happy to do the same this end. Try and put as much pressure on Scotland.
Don't mind this.
Again, what we said before, Scotland's not afraid to put a lot of rocks in play, but Norway's going to be matching them quite intensely on this.
Line's good. Line's good. Line's really good, boys. Weight's good. Line's high, actually. Line's high.
Whoa. Wait only.
Gotta go, wait.
Okay then. Hard.
Hard. Gotta go. Hard.
Trying to wrap around everything.
Right to it.
Come on.
Right to it. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Okay, not bad, Ali. Good there.
Not a bad result at all.
Yeah, that's a useful spot for Scotland. Let's take a look in at other games. Italy versus Korea, and Kim Chang-min looking at 3. Has to draw well into the forefoot to score a single point.
Inntil linja. Kjører sikkert litt mindre enn Magnus. Sier du det? Okay. Magnussen er på sin siste. Men den kom dit.
Both teams with still some hope of a playoff position, so huge game for both of these teams. Korean draw just a little bit heavy, so it's going to be a steal for the Italians. 1 for Italy. Italy 1-0. And that's looking at Sweden and China. 3 Swedish stones in the rings. Lots of rocks in play. What an amazing start here. Nicholas Edin with a chance to draw for 4.
Hålla igång. Ganska bra giv, men håll igång nu. Bra linje. Håll igång, den aldrig är lång. Samma linje som mina.
Sundgren and Rana on the brushes.
Kom igen, in på
Keeping it moving, but they don't seem too concerned about it.
Måtta grabbar.
Eriksson comes out for a bit of insurance. No problem there. Cha-ching! 4 points on the board for Sweden.
Yeah, good sweep indeed. Good feedback, Nicholas. That was all sweepers on that one.
Our feature game. Here's Norway leading it 1-0. Scotland with the hammer, playing the yellow rocks here on end number 2.
Touch mindre, er du snill.
Nedregotten? I gotta let you say Magnus's name at least once. I can't take it all day.
I'm not sure I'd be any better, but I've got to say it is fun to say.
It's a nice little inside roll. Ducks a corner behind the corner guard. Morning coffee in front of Alan Hanna, Scottish coach.
In for overroll, it's quite nice.
Keeping a close eye on proceedings with the video camera and the computer.
Control. Okay,
Something you see quite regularly with the Scottish teams. Usually have the video cameras out.
Thought you were going to say the coffee.
But, well, I think the last game that we had with Norway, I think the bench had about 5, 3, somewhere in there, cups of coffee in front of them. So they might have them beat.
Yeah. Looking for a little bit of an inside action here. Needs full cover. Want to hang behind that court. So let's count the coffees on the Norwegian bench. There's Thomas Lovold. No coffee in sight, but computer there. Thomas looking wide awake this morning.
He might be hiding it from us.
Okay.
Maybe he heard that we called him out.
Oh, there's the coffee. There's the coffee. Okay. That's normal service resumed in Scandinavia.
Got the Swedish bench right next to them as well, so
Coffee's all around here on a
he's
Thursday
all
morning.
around.
Nice stone there by the Norwegians. They lie two. Heiberg looking on. Corner guards available though for Bruce Mowat. Lots of places to hide.
Yeah, 7-8.
This team has been really impressive this week. Steady, steady, steady. Knocking over the defending world champion, ending Canada's long unbeaten streak at World Men's and Women's.
Yeah, and they had a loss against, their only loss against Sweden, but they had them on the ropes for the first half of that game. It was all Scotland.
So despite their youth, their Scottish foursome playing with the very best and a very bright future. No inside roll, so it's wide open for Norway to make a play on it. Marcus Højbjerg. Well, they get that nice little inside roll. That ducks behind the corner guard. Norway playing very nicely here in the early going. So now it's time for Mowat to use that corner guard for themselves. Can't hit and roll your way there. So now it's time to draw.
Wait's good.
Grant Hardy.
Take you over. Wait's good. Toppy. Hardy if you can. Wait's there. T-line. Hardy, go really deep. T-line.
Go deep, go deep, go deep.
Hard, Hardy.
Gotta go.
Really gotta move.
Gotta bend it.
That's got a ways to curl, but
Yep, hard. All the way, all the way, all the way, all the way.
again, that straight side just need to take a little bit less ice on that.
Carl? Nothing. Just probably too positive on that.
Yeah, like you said, no curl.
Han syns stå og spinne selv når han kom over, og så fikk han ikke.
There's the Scottish bench looking on. Dave Murdoch, he's played a game or two in his time. Sitting on the Scottish bench this week. Champion.
And they had Ross Patterson, who was actually subbed in yesterday for one end.
Yep, Ross has seen some ice time, the alternate.
Played a whopping 100% during his time out on the ice.
That's great. You go right back on the bench and tell your teammates all week, match that.
Exactly. I had the best stats out of all of you.
Exactly. Come on, guys, lift your game, lift your game. This man's game has been pretty well lifted all week. Stefan Mazda having a very nice tournament. Trying to make a play to the Scottish stone in the back of the 8-foot. Got to get by that corner, no problem there.
Trying to roll away.
Get a little inside roll.
Yep.
Norway lying 3.
Didn't want to roll in behind that corner because then you're just going to set up a little bit of that freeze pocket attempt for Scotland. Give them a good opportunity to wrap one around. So this way at least there's no backing. There's nothing that they'll be able to jam on.
that the same as Grant?
No, I gave a Grant edge of foot.
Top tee.
Where do you want it, Bruce?
Half in behind.
Top foot. Okay.
Hey, buddy.
Norwegian stones
Okay, good.
accumulating. Big stone here for Bruce Maud.
Give it tee last time, so just takes a tee off it.
So made a little bit of adjustment in the target line after the stone of Hardy's tracked a little bit straight. He's taking a little bit less ice.
A little bit softer.
Waist nice. Waist there. Over there. Tee line.
Line's
Back
good.
it. Line's good. Oh, waist good. Lauren. Can't go. Lauren. Waist close. Lauren.
Line's
Still
good.
back it.
Stay with it, Harley, just in case.
Where?
It's coming down.
No, still back it. Back four.
Close.
Back four.
Looking close.
Well by the guards. It's going to be a bit deep too. Will it stay in the 8-foot? It will not. Norway lying in 1.
Yeah, they would have really have liked to finish that a bit, but it needed to have quite a few feet less in order to do so.
Bit of trouble now for the Scots. 8-foot's open, but they sure didn't want to be in a situation where they had to play for a single point. That might be what happens.
Han popper og spinner på mye mer enn meg da.
Ja, jeg var 13,8 på det, nå 14 på den første. Altså.
Ja, jeg tenker bare på linja. Min knekte nok litt tidligere, tror du ikke det?
Jo, det er greit det, men helium tenker jeg det er krise.
Ja.
It's taking a little bit less ice than Bruce took on his.
4 marginalt ned mot dem.
Jeg
Oh.
tror ikke det har blitt noe
Never mind.
Jeg hadde 13,75 på han. Jeg gikk det litt på i starten.
They have seen 2 or 3 stones down this path already in this end.
Ja.
Jeg har 13,7 på den her.
Jeg fikk mange stoffer.
Prøv å spille 13,7, ja da. Han popper og spinner litt, og så nå 13,5.
Ja.
Jeg liker 13,7.
Jeg tror også det er bra.
He's talking about the weight to throw in the hack before he comes out. Needs to make sure he's at least sitting 1-2. Would love to bury a piece so that there's no double attempt.
Neddergaard and Robert guiding it down the rings.
Det er 7 cirka.
Well clear of the guard, and this one's going to slide past the tee line as well. Pretty good spot. That will generate the force. Be the thinnest of doubles, and there's no way that Bruce Maud will try that.
Now, I would have loved to have that one sit higher so that would have been a cold draw to the 4-foot. This gives Bruce a bit of backing. Even if he's a little bit heavy, he'll be able to come down to that red stone, still lie shot.
Pretty much the exact same shot that he just threw.
Has to be in the... No, either red. Okay.
Let's just play a cold draw.
Yeah. T-line.
Yeah, Maud absolutely thinking tee line. He's not thinking about the backing at all.
Something you see a very common miss, don't you?
Yeah. Got some backing. I can throw an extra foot. Oops. Tracks a bit straight, goes right by. Stolen point.
Yeah.
You need there. Tee line with yourself.
So great on the sweepers. Say just a cold draw. Just
No, it's fine.
same weight you've been throwing.
It's fine. You need curl if you need the backing. No. We're T line. You need the curl if you need the backing. No, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. On you go, Bob. Can't hurt it. Can't hurt it. Can't hurt it. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine.
No problem there for Bruce Maud. Calmly draws the 4-foot for a single point for Scotland. Another good end for the Norwegians, though they forced the Scots to 1. After 2 ends of play, we're all tied up at 1.
Ja, ha spill. Ja, skal vi høre.
Back inside the Orleans Arena. Here we are at ice level. Great big screen in the background. The players can check out their hairstyles.
Go through it.
We are live at the 361 World Men's Curling Championship 2018, our feature game, Scotland versus Norway.
Halfway tight.
A game with definite playoff implications. Hans Frauenbaum, I'm joined by Alison Kriviasek and Ali. Just as we expected, not much to pick between these teams, but Norway really with the better of the play very early in this game.
I agree. Seems like they are putting the pressure on and not letting up.
Some Norwegian fans in the stands this morning. Good to see. Generally a little quieter than the Scots, but they make their presence known too.
I think most nations are a little quieter than the Scots.
It's true. It's a high bar.
They set
the bar high.
Exactly.
Good. No, I won't say they're high at the bar. That would be unkind. There we see the Scots. Little subdued there this morning. Come on, guys. Give us a bagpipe.
We just talked you up so much.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe if they've got their headphones, they're listening in to us.
Yes.
Providing them words of encouragement.
Hamley McMillan looking to rally the Scottish fans.
Sure. That's Carlin. Sure.
Put it zone 3 then.
No, we're not getting there. Just halfway.
Yep.
We're not so short of that, Bruce.
Yeah, the teams have got to kind of just give themselves those little reminders that on that curling side, might need to add a little bit more.
This is sheet A. It's not massive. The sheets are pretty consistent, but there is a definite little bit of an extra move towards the boards. Alison holding her arm up at a 45-degree angle. She thinks it's more like a ski slope. I don't know. We curlers tend to exaggerate things a little bit sometimes.
Yeah. It's okay if I show that to you, but maybe not to.
Okay.
Maybe not to anyone playing.
Use my inside voice. This stone is going to slide to the back of the 12-foot circle.
Touch the guard a bit there. Okay.
Good sporting spirit there. Nedry Gutton said, I touched the guard going by. After a brief discussion, Moses, yep, didn't move anything around. We're fine.
Shoot. Go round it, you're heavy. Right, back 8 just now. Go round it, Bruce. Close. Roll there yourself, all right, back 12. We're almost through.
Do you need something?
No. We're almost through.
This one's got a bit of steam.
Yep.
Trying to slide deep.
Be interesting to hear the communication of.
Yeah, they're pretty quiet, aren't they, this morning? The
Yeah.
Scots?
Just thinking if perhaps someone said something.
Let's take a look in here now, update some of our other games. Switzerland with a 1-0 lead over the Netherlands. Yep, Van Dorp. Final stone draw, chance to score 2 here.
Ga nu curlen, Kulspel. Kulspel, jij blijft. Hard. Je blijft. Hard jongens. Je blijft. Je blijft. Yep. Okay, Jens. Yep.
Very nicely swept, right into the 4-foot circle. And that's a deuce for the Netherlands, and they go up 2-1. That's a big game for Switzerland. They're hanging around the playoff fringe. And Jaap van Dorp trying to keep his team in the playoff picture. Let's switch over and have a look at Sweden-China. 3 Swedish stones in the ring. Sweden already with a 4-point lead. It'll be a final stone draw for Schodesha.
Here down.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Hard.
Hard.
Right to it.
Hard.
Let it go, Grant.
Let it go.
Hard. Yeah.
Hard. Hard.
Big sweep by Shao and Shu, and Cho coming out to join, but this one looks light. comes up agonizingly short, and it's a steal of 3 for Sweden. They're up 7-0 and running away with that one. Disaster for the Chinese. Now let's look in at Italy, Korea. Italians with the red stones. Kim Chang-min, his last rock. This Korean team would be right in the frame as well. They had one heartbreaking loss earlier in the week against Switzerland, where on the final stone of the game their sweeper was knocked over and burned the running stone that could have won the game for them. No problem here. Kim Chang-min by the guard. Back of the forefoot, single point for the Koreans, and that game's tied up.
Yeah, it's really, really sad to see when something like that happens. You really have to feel for the players.
Hard, Bruce.
Okay.
Just clipping out the stone at the back of the rings. Scotland was hoping that would hang around. Marcus Højbjerg.
10 frem, 10 frem. 10-7.
Looking for a roll attempt.
Just going to pop out the other side of the guard. Interesting decision now for Moet. Well, he's going to play the hit and roll.
Hvor mye var det? 10-5? 10-5,
Norway does have the hammer, so
It's going to be here, so let you go around.
Yeah.
conservative, probably a good play.
More 6 more feet at least.
Yeah, that was easy,
Just.
buddy.
If they were to wrap one, make the hit and roll on this, it would be really tricky for Norway to get at that. They have to look at throwing a run back possibility.
Nice way.
Nice look at the release of Grant Hardy on that one.
Coming down.
You read the line. Just swinging back and forth behind that corner guard. Nobody be able to stick it right behind it yet.
You just need to listen to recalls.
Yeah, you should do it. Very good.
So it's coming down, coming down.
Højbjerg will have a go.
Yep.
See if he can stick the hit and roll. Nedergaarden on the inside sweep, trying to hold the line as straight as he can. Actually overswept it.
Close. Bra spill.
There's Marcus Højbjerg making his way up to the home end. A little fist bump there from Stefan Mazda.
Just less.
Yeah, switching gears a little bit, so opting to try and throw the
Just a double.
double.
Heel. Third.
No,
Just a bit
it's a
less.
steepish, awkward angle. Long crosshouse double here.
Make it.
Trying to take Norway out of the 2-point end. Bit of risk here, though.
Yeah, well, even if they were to just hit it a bit thick and roll over on top of it, that would also be a pretty decent result. At least try and group them a little bit more together, maybe set up a double on your next.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. 10-foot crosshouse double takeout. Bruce Moet. Fantastic.
Wow.
This way.
Yeah, when I slid out, my grip went from like the back of the stone.
Willing it to curl right into your living room. Fantastic shot.
Shot, Bruce.
Beauty.
Nice shot indeed.
I was holding the back of my king where I normally hold this stone. And then when I pulled back, I pushed forward. Yeah, kjempebra.
Sounds like he wasn't totally happy with his slide, though.
It wasn't the most awesome slide and grip in his career, but got a fantastic result.
Yeah. whatever happened, it was a long story. Lots of things happened.
just keep doing it, Bruce. Stick with that. That worked pretty well.
Exactly. Norway had just briefly looked about drawing around that corner guard, but the blank here is pretty good, so no need to be super aggressive here.
We are on the third end of a 10-end game. Maybe a bit early to push the aggression.
Oh, wait, Bruce. Oh, wait.
Yeah, good
queen. Face. I don't think that's enough.
I love calling Scottish curling games. Barrier weight's my favorite term in curling.
Got barrier, and you've got
Oh, you got all kinds of one.
Nedregotten.
You got Magnus Nedregotten? Yes, that's right. It's an all-star morning.
Or afternoon, evening, depending on where you're joining us from.
It's true. Wherever you are, we're glad you're joining us.
Clean. Clean. Clean.
Wants to hit this one on the nose to force Norway to make some kind of a play for their blank. It's pretty good.
Good, Bruce.
Right to the barrier. It's the bumpers at the back. That's how hard he was trying to throw it, to reach the
Nice shot.
little barriers at the back.
Shoot it up there.
So this will be the blank attempt for Stefan Mazda. Wants to hit and roll out of the rings to keep last rock.
And there you have it. There'll be a blank on the board.
Nice to deep.
After 3 ends of play, Norway will keep the hammer into the fourth. We're tied at 1.
Halfway. Line's good.
Hammy Millen gets us underway.
Line's nice.
Halfway. There's the lines.
Line's fine.
Line's fine again.
Still
Halfway.
We are live at the Orleans Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada. Curling in the desert outside. Sunshine, swimming pools, casinos, Elvis impersonators. Inside, ice and world-class curling.
Magnus Wolberg, tournament accuracy at 90%. Having a really, really good week.
Kjent å komme fram igjen, men...
Ok, det er litt lang.
Another option Norway had on this is to throw the corner guard.
They're electing to come right in.
Skjønte jeg ikke så mye av. Vet du? Hva hadde hun der?
Slides to the back of the house.
10.
Good chance now for Scotland to use that center guard for themselves. McMillan.
Toppy, where's dice?
Hammer Max.
Top 4.
Line's good.
Young Hammy.
Where's there?
Back 4.
Okay, line's still
Just
fine.
past your brush.
Maybe just want out to stop.
This one's also going to slide deep.
Sit.
Yeah, it's two pretty different throws there.
Yeah.
I'm sure young Hammy won't say that.
25 in double.
I had dad with the same name as me, and you're always called Young Hans. Look at that. I'm bigger than my dad.
Kan jeg sette den som jeg egentlig gjorde da, eller må jeg sette den annerledes nå?
Her er det ganske mye rett til den andre siden da.
Sure you didn't mind getting...
No. Made for
No.
confusion, though, on my phone calls.
Yeah,
You know?
makes sense.
Covered.
Hard! Hard! Man! Yep, hard! Hard!
Well, if it really pivots, he's actually walking backwards as he's sweeping. It's hard to do.
Yeah, I've noticed that a few times. He does sweep with his slider on the opposite side, so could be a tactic to try and gain pressure coming down on the brush.
Yep.
Since a lot of your weight is going to be going through your slider foot.
Exceptional balance when you're doing that. Bobby Lemmy, 88%. Big weight here. It's a veritable rocket. Whew, right through the middle. That's hard to do. Unfortunate.
Wow. Wow. Who even thought that was there?
I meant to say to you yesterday.
You could throw it 10 times and that could happen once. Catches any contact of either of those stones, they both go, but right up the middle.
That is rotten luck.
Norway with their stones off the center line, looking to hit the center guard, but just keep it in play. Just roll it 2 or 3 rock widths to the right as we're looking at it. Kind of like a tick shot, except you want to keep your corner guard there. Magnus Nedregotten, 85% for the tournament. Pretty good looking stone here. Very nice. Just enough weight to push it through the rings. So Norway's got their corner guard up and 2 stones in the back. Nice shot by Nedregotten.
There's loads of room.
Yeah. Can't wait, buddy. Plenty of room. Hold the freeze, Björn.
Bobby Lemmy.
You kill that.
A wee bit before.
No.
Hack, weight's good.
Good. Good. See that, Harvey?
Doing me again. Notice.
Good. Harvey. Hard.
Does it curl too much? Oh, just gets it by.
Oh man, so close to the top guard.
Go, Bob.
Just that late switch sweep call.
You want to hold the freeze, though?
Hammy.
You want to hold the freeze?
I thought we could have gotten both out at the end.
No, never. Good throw.
You're asking a lot out of that shot. Scotland lies 1 at the back.
Touch lite kanskje.
Different viewpoint from being down in the house to being in the hack. Seeing the different angles and
Absolutely right.
Hold i gang. Hold i gang.
Nedregotten.
Hold i gang. Linja bra. 12. 12. Hold i gang, linja der. 12. Yep. Hard. Whoa. Yep.
Very nice touch by Nedregotten. Full to the nose of that Scottish stone, and Norway lies 2.
Think it'll be alright speed out here? Yeah, we'll just do one.
If there's a couple in there.
I think you want to throw a solid 12, it should be fine.
Just locking in the weight they want to throw. Grant Hardy, 85% for the tournament.
It's nice. Good weight. Weight's real good. Weight's real nice. 12. Are we here firm? No, weight's good. Weight's really good. Coming down. Really coming down.
Well by the guard.
Yep. On the right.
It's going to flop a little bit to the outside. Just over curls slightly to sit right in front of the Norwegian stone, but Scotland is shot.
Nice weight.
Nice shot.
Norway's not going to play with it. It's not going to help them out too much by trying to maybe pick it. You're still just lying 1. Marcus Hobey, 86% so far this competition.
Linja bra. 5-6. Linja perfekt. 5. Litt skolekøl. Hold i gang. Linja bra. 5. Køle. Nei, linja bra. Flott og kosen. Linja perfekt. Switch. Yep.
Want to wrap behind that guard if they can. Going to hide a piece. Half buried. Let's take a look at Netherlands versus Switzerland. Bit of a forest of granite there in the rings. Yellowstone belongs to Switzerland, so Mark Pfister. Can you get another one in there somehow? There's a lot of curling to do. Not quite enough, so it's a single point for the Swiss, and that one is tied up at 2. Well, Scotland with a nice soft double while we're looking at the updates. Very nice shot there. And let's look at Italy, Korea. Amos Mosai of Italy, final stone. Oh, tries to double off the Korean stone, but leaves it in the rings. You can see the broom bash. He's not happy. It's a steal of 2 for Korea. Korea up 3-1 in that one.
Oh, that double and just tick that back one.
He'll be having nightmares about that.
Yeah, he had that against Canada. And that double and tick is what handed him the loss that game. Norway with a nice situation there. Stone front 12 behind guards.
Really like that. On the end turn.
If they knows that, will he be shot second or third?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let you explain the thought to them.
Okay.
That tee's fine.
Grant Hardy says we'll let you explain the thought to him, so we'll listen in as Mowat gets into the hack.
I think that's always a positive sign, I think.
Okay, buddy.
Okay, Bruce, up there here, so here a bit.
Similar to your last job, you play for 1.
You give us the same as your last out turn, Joe, you're fine.
He's struggling to get to the nose of that, I think.
Okay.
And
yeah, so try and get it.
If he does nose it, then we're going to rely on the second at the back.
Let's try and get it behind that red.
Perfect behind it.
Bang on the tee.
Yeah.
Okay, the back tee's alright, is it?
Back 4.
Okay.
Okay.
Give us tee.
What do you think?
Same as your way to give us.
Give us a solid 10, we're good.
What's it throw?
Bruce Mowat, 83% for the tournament, trying to draw this one to the back of the 4-foot circle around the guards. Rationale being
Line's good.
Norway hits the second stone.
Line's good. Line's good. Keep gonna go.
It's to be shot.
Line only.
Lemon and McMillan on the brushes.
Well, Mike. Well, really good. Well, Mike.
Good looking line. How's the weight?
This is looking really good.
Beauty. Really nice shot there by Bruce Mowat. Perfect position. I should have left it a little higher. It was so good.
Yeah, best Norway can do at the moment is try and come down. Maybe set something up on your next.
You're thinking corner freeze, aren't you, Ellie? Duck around the one on the top of
I'm
the
thinking, yeah. Of course, if you're shot stone, but a little bit higher, that's perfectly okay too. It makes Scotland
That's true.
try and go for the pick, and then maybe they'll luck out and get a jam out of it. Stefan Mazda, 83. Started off the competition really strong and it's been just hair off. He's not missing by much. It's just like one or two little mistakes here and there.
And at this level, that can be costly.
It can. This one is looking like it really needs to slow down, though.
Yep, sweeper's backing right off it. They think it's heavy. And it is. It's going to go deep. Will it even stay in the rings? No, it will not. It's right through the rings. So, Wallstead, as Allison said, just having a little bit of a soft patch mid-tournament. Let's look at his release. His hand slides to the back of the handle and pops it.
Maybe added a little bit too much on release. Hard to say, but
Yeah, hard to say. Normally really reliable with his draws.
Just played it. Yeah, just played it to make it slightly tighter by. Okay. Same ice?
Yep. I still think you kicked that heavy in your last one, Bruce. So.
All right, I thought you wanted a bit more on that slide anyway.
Yeah, but even still, I think you're still a touch heavy.
Okay.
Bruce Moll can try to throw the exact same shot that he just threw, draw it right on top of his own stone in the 4 foot.
Off this. Yeah, just over field.
Yeah, a few feet off the middle, we can work it.
Took a few feet off it, so they do want to be second shot. Force Norway to 1.
Right, top it again.
Maybe get a steal.
Waist nice! Similar again. Hit less. Hit less! Line's a little higher.
Line's good.
Line's good. Got to go. Hard there, nice get. Really got to go.
Lammy McMillan really on it. He's taking a little bit of weight off of this one. So now they go to the switch and plan B, and it's just a guard.
Keep us. Keep us.
Mowat was quite conscious. If he's going to make a mistake on that one, it was going to be a mistake light.
yeah, worst case scenario, you're a little bit open and leave some sort of double, but
Nothing here but the draw for 1 for Norway. So, tight game so far. No multiple point ends with the hammer, and there won't be one here. Let's see if Wallstead can make the adjustment after throwing that last one through. Meets full 4 foot. Robert Nedergotten on the brushing. They're really hammering this one.
did he take too much off?
He's made an adjustment, but has he over-adjusted? I think so. This one is going to come up light. It will be a stolen point for Scotland. Wallstead, tough end. Heavy on the first draw, light on the second. It's a steal of 1 for Scotland. Scotland take the lead. 2-1 after 4.
Probably back to we should be taking 2 force and 1 another way. After 4. Think of it that way.
Then we would have done that time.
Well, other way about. Force 1, take 2.
I got that.
We're live at the 361 World Men's Curling Championship 2018. Our feature game is Norway and Scotland. Scotland take the lead for the first time in the game.
I think you're okay, boys.
Stolen point in the fourth end.
Oh, Bobby again.
So Norway will have last rock advantage here in the fifth.
Keep it coming. You got it.
Come on, Bob.
Get in there.
Keep going.
Yep.
Good shit.
Center guard by the Scots.
Bruce, that is Max.
Yeah, I know you did. Probably pretty positive. Yeah. I didn't see it, I'm sorry.
Hans Ramlund here with Alison Kriviazik. Enjoying your week in Vegas, Allie?
I am. Absolutely. I mean, what's not to enjoy? Fantastic curling, and then you go outside and it is palm trees and heat.
It's a
That sounds like
combination that's pretty hard to beat.
That's a winning combination.
This is a big week for USA Curling. It's been a big year for USA Curling. Corner guard. Take a quick look at all the other games. Our game, Scotland 2-1 over Norway. Sweden pitching a shutout. Ugly day for the Chinese. Sweden leading that one 9-0. Netherlands and Switzerland are tied up at 2. And Korea with a 3-1 lead over Italy.
At least T. Back four.
Okay.
Yeah, USA Curling, of course, gold medal victory of Team Schuster at the recent Winter Olympics. First ever gold medal for a US team.
Okay, Hammy.
And they're having the time of their lives.
They are. They were here. A few of them were here at the beginning of the event for the opening ceremonies to pass the torch on to
Greg Persinger
Greg
and co.
Persinger and the team.
That victory, big news in the USA. Among Faubourg. Saw overnight that they've been invited to the ESPYs. Team Schuster.
Wow.
They're really living the dream.
Yep.
Nose hit.
Elbow thumb.
Curling is growing by leaps and bounds in the USA. And
Lös.
the sudden injection of interest post the Olympics, we've been getting reports from around the US of open houses being held.
Absolutely. I got a recent one as well from Boston. Broomstones in Wayland, Massachusetts. They said 760 people tried out. They had to turn away 400 people,
Oh my goodness.
but they sent them to other clubs, so they
I was just
weren't
going to
turned
say,
away completely.
Good.
But isn't that incredible?
That's fantastic. Well done, Broomstones Curling. shot there by Bobby Lamy, sitting in front of the Norwegian stone at the back of that forefoot. This end looking pretty mixed doubly. Center guard and 2 stones behind the tee line. Something
that Magnus here is quite familiar with.
Yep, he's seen this rock formation more than a time or two. Olympic bronze medalist mixed doubles curling along with his teammate, Christian Skastin. Mixed doubles curling making such an amazing debut on the Olympic program in Pyeongchang. Very successful, and it's a great shot by Nedergotten. World Curling Federation President Kate Caithness is here in Las Vegas this week, and I saw a news report, an interview that she gave. She's quietly confident that the mixed doubles field size will be larger in Beijing than it was in Pyeongchang. So a great start for mixed doubles curling at the Olympics. Team curling here in Las Vegas. Bobby Lamy.
This is looking tight. Got it by.
Keep it on the inside of that red stone. It's just going to over curl. Sit on the center line. Of course, Bruce Moen knows a thing or two about mixed doubles curling himself as the Scottish sweepers look on. He's placed as high as 4th at the World Mixed Doubles Curling Championship, so he's played a bit of doubles in his time as well.
He has, just narrowly missing out on the Olympic berth. No, that was a heartbreaker for them.
Yeah, they wound up ranked 9. There were only 8 nations competing in Pyeongchang at the doubles this time around. Nedergotten big weight here. Not laying a brush to it though. Is this a miss? No, no, clips it. Sweeper's demeanor looked a little bit sketchy.
Yep.
Usually when you see the sweepers back away, they're going, no, don't think so.
When you look up at the skip and he's making a...
shaking his head.
Yeah, questionable face.
Rolling his eyes to the sky.
You gotta think, I don't think we have this.
I think it's an either or shot. What would you rather? I think you'd rather roll. Leave it sitting there.
See if
you'd rather stuff it and roll, you just throw a barrier.
Yeah, let's go for this.
Yep,
yes,
okay.
You want to spin onto kind of the edge of the yellow. It's really nice.
Just locking in the shot choice. Played this one like a hit and roll.
Nice weight, touch heavy.
Yeah, realizing the angles aren't really in their favor, so utilizing that top yellow stone to slash onto the red. It's gonna put them in a good place.
Oh, very nice shot. Very nice shot by Grant. Grant Hardy, fantastic. Paul Trilson in the background. Norwegian gold medalist. But look at this. Perfect angle, Ali.
Great shot.
Stacks them all up, overlapped. The great Colleen Jones would call that a Christmas tree.
Isn't that what everyone calls it?
Well, they do now. Colleen takes credit for it.
Yeah.
That Norwegian stone at the back of the forefoot, really at the back of the train now. Very vulnerable. Any contact, that stone will go.
Yeah. 60-70.
Mark Høyvik. Norway's got the hammer here in the 5th, but having a tough time getting something going. Well, that's about the best that Marcus could do. He just repositions the stones. Everything behind the tee line now.
That is a lot of ice. side.
Is that not a lot of ice, Bruce? I always get a little less.
Okay.
I'll give you edge.
I like it, Jay.
Let's look at it. Netherlands versus Switzerland. Uh-oh.
I think it must be.
4 Swiss stones in the rings facing Jep van Dorp. This will test your heart rate. Drawing against 4.
Oké, lijn is goed. Wow, wow, wow. Kun nog niet.
Top 12.
Ga nu terug.
Top 8. Top 12.
Je
Top 4.
blijft.
Top
Lijn
8.
is goed, alleen lengte.
Top 8.
Lijn 4.
Top 4.
Lijn 4.
Fully. Top 4. Fully. Perfect. Fully.
Van Dorp drills the button. That's a huge shot. Netherlands single point. And they take a 3-2 lead. Now let's look at Italy, Korea. Logjam stones in and around the button. The red stone
85.
belongs to the Italians.
Wow. Stuur hem uit dan.
Another rocket from Mosaner. Repositions the stones, and have they given up a steal? Yes, they have. Korea, 4-1 leaders. Mosaner with another big weight takeout, just not coming off for him this morning.
That's it. That's it.
He loves to throw the high-hard ones.
He does.
They are a lot of fun to throw, though.
They're fun to watch, too.
Yeah. Maybe not so fun if you're not making them.
Well, exactly.
And then they're...
I was just going to say, Amos is 23 years old. He's got huge potential, but I think to turn from a really, really good curler into a great one, just needs to be a little bit more rounded, I think, in his shot selection. I think sometimes he goes hunting for the big weight run backs.
Because even if he comes round, you're taking the short, you just put it in.
All right, Byron. And you can be here.
I think we played for a long roll, Grant.
I think that's perfect. Yeah.
Nice swing.
Scotland here with the hit and roll.
Here down.
Looking to the lie 3.
Here down. Here down. Yep.
Block off that corner.
He's going to swing it right over on top, and it does actually bounce it off the barrier. I'll use Scottish terminology this morning. Won't call it the sideboard.
Excellent.
And Scotland lies 3.
Here down. Close, Hammy. Here down. Close, yep. Here down. Yep.
Get a good look at it here. Watch the inside roll. Here it comes, and is it doink right off the barrier.
Yeah, I think they were knowing that it was going to roll quite a bit further, so be able to catch that other stone and stick. Great call. Really great line call.
Let's see. The elusive search for draw weight for Stefan Mazda. Missed 2 draws in the previous end. Well, now we see the coffee quotient really ramping up on the bench. Instead.
And we're only in the 5th.
That's right. We will keep a tally of the coffee cups on the bench going for you folks.
Score on the board and coffee cups on the bench.
Trying to freeze the stone in the back.
So close.
Yeah, neither about one more foot of weight. Moet has no chance to run it out. Magnus Wahlberg looking for a coffee.
Maybe some extra energy. The guys have been just sweeping their hearts out.
Yeah, been working hard. Stefan
How
Mazda.
you make that?
Yeah. Go for that. You can't jam on the back one, can you?
No.
Great time to take a break then.
Yep.
Got the 5th end break coming up.
Normal, here high.
Well,
Nose.
let's count 1, 2.
I think we need to try this.
Keeps
We're counting 6 cups of coffee on the bench.
the scoring zone
Well,
low
there's
for them as well.
what, 6 of them up there, but I don't think everyone was having a coffee. No.
It's not being shared around equally.
No. Okay, yeah.
Moet, only bad place for this one is if it hits it on the low side and jams. Any contact on the inside, he's fine.
Yep. Whoa. Good.
No mistake there. Loses one at the back, but no problem. They're line 3.
Good.
The force accomplished for the Scots, but Wallstead
The elusive draw.
needs full 8 foot. Must be a real confidence test for Stefan Wallstead.
Yeah, Valstad, his percentages for his out-turn draws. He's thrown 23 so far this competition and averaging 77%. So can he bump it up a few extra points here?
Drawing against 3. Neddergut and Bauer hit it immediately. Now they're checking. Magnus Neddergut is one of the best judges in world curling of where the weight is going. He reads weight really well as a sweeper, and that one right to the pin. There it is. There's the draw weight for Wallstead. Drills the pin. Norway scores a single point. It's the force for the Scots. They'll take the hammer into the next end. We are tied up at 2. On the second end, red stones belong to the Norwegians. Final stone draw here for Scotland's Bruce Mullet.
At least. Fine. Okay, Bruce.
No problem there. Pull into the 4 foot. Single point for Scotland. That ties the game up at 1. Fourth end, final stone draw for Norway's Stefan Wallstead. This one is coming up light, and it is a steal for Scotland, giving Scotland a 2-1 lead. Facing 3 Scottish counters this time. Wallstead fighting his draw weight a little bit in the first half, but this one, no mistake there. Drills it right on the pin. Single point for Norway in this tight contest. It is all tied up at 2 at the midpoint. Looking in at Sweden versus China once again. Sweden pitching a shutout and a tough final stone here for Shodasha. Trying to get on the board.
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
Oh, look at that. Great shot. Fantastic. Tough way to get your first point of the game. China's on the board. Little small smile there from Shao. What a great shot. Let's update all of our matches here in session 15. We're tied at 2 in our feature game, Norway-Scotland. Sweden with a commanding 9-1 lead over China. Netherlands and Switzerland, that game is really important for the Swiss as far as the playoff goes. They're tied at 3. And Korea holding a 4-1 lead over Italy here at the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. Fabulous Las Vegas.
så er den grei 2 år eller blank, liksom.
Slipp litt unna når den bommer der.
Ja.
Ja.
Det gjorde vi ikke.
Ja, for det er viktig å få
Slapp
nullen når
absolutt
jeg
ikke
får kontroll. Og få den til å sentrere rundt corner. Jeg fikk det ene gangen. Men det tenkte jeg på når vi...
Dave Murdoch picking up the same thing I noticed. Not quite the same amount of chat as we look at the halftime statistics. And statistical edge to the Norwegians in the shooting accuracy department, but on the scoreboard, deadlocked at 1. Each team has a stolen point.
På han. Nei.
That's what they're playing for. World Championship trophy. We are live from Las Vegas, the 361 World Men's Curling Championship 2018. Thursday morning in Vegas. Feature match. This one, top of the table implications. Norway versus Scotland. Scotland coming into this game on a single loss. They're hoping to get themselves into the top 2. Norway just 1 game behind them in the loss column. They're trying to get up there in the top group as well. Magnus Valberg, 95% for the game.
Yeah, the 3 teams at the top right now. You've got Canada, Sweden, and Scotland. Sweden looking
ominous.
Yeah, they look like they've got a win on the board on this one, up 9-1 over China. Scotland's going to need a win here, just like you said, to stay in the hunt for the top 2 positions. Hammy McMillan, 78 so far this game. Just having a hard time just with the different paths in the ice. It's not something that's only him that's struggled with that, though. Stefan Mazda also having a bit of difficulty.
No one did lose 1 stone to a burned rock. That doesn't help his shooting percentage.
Absolutely. Unfortunate.
Yep, caused by a teammate, but the end result's on you on your shooting percentage.
It happens.
It does happen. It's a team game, and that'll quickly be forgiven or forgotten. Heard David Murdoch in the Scottish scrum at halftime saying to the players, guys, I'm not saying you're not dialed in, but I'm just not hearing you. He's just not hearing the communications and the interplay between the players and the way that he's seen from them in other games. I think that's really good advice, Allison.
I agree. You were saying that a little bit earlier, that they're just maybe a hair on the quiet side. Could be that it's a morning game, maybe feeling a little sluggish.
Maybe they need a coffee.
Or maybe some extra water.
Yep. Hydration's important in the desert. Pretty low humidity here.
Always nice. Keep it heavy. Heavy. Whoa. Whoa. Heavy. Whoa. Heavy. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Yes.
Stones in the free guard zone.
Looking for the tick there. There's a little
Good shot.
disagreement on the line call.
Well, worked out.
Yep.
Moved the guard off the center line and rolled his own stone into the rings. Nice result there for Hammy McMillan. Scotland has the hammer here in 6.
A touch mindre bare. Ja.
Magnus Nedregotten throwing a unbelievable 100%. Having a fantastic game so far.
Another
And
nice shot.
he will continue maybe peeks a little bit into the open, but
Let's see,
switches up the angle a little bit for Scotland.
3 out of 4 for that.
Yeah.
Off the
Okay.
center.
There goes the perfect game. Sorry, Magnus.
Ball here. They're 12 weight.
Guess we
You're
were gonna
probably pushing them in
pull
as well.
pull at straws there.
Can I get it, ball here? Maybe
Can you give like a 3.5?
3.5.
Yeah.
99 and a half for
Exactly.
you, Magnus.
Think you're hot. Do you about to roll to a corner? We're still decent, are we not? Okay. Yeah. But wait. Barrier.
This is a good opportunity for Scotland.
Lots of stones to roll behind for Bobby Lammy. 80% for the game, slightly below his tournament average.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Lead. Whoa, whoa, yep. Whoa, 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 yep. Whoa, yes. Whoa, yep. Whoa, whoa.
We're going to run in the stone in the front. Goes across the top.
Like that. That's nice.
Good play.
I like that, buddy.
Opens up the center line, leaves themselves corner guards, exposes the Norwegian shot. Very nice play. Magnus Nedvedgotten.
Den är bra. 2. 2. Den är bra. 2,5. Ja, vänta lite på den. 3. 2,5.
Litt lenger, Gustav.
Meter fra huset, bra. Hva spiller Magnus? You push the yellow in.
Scotland will not be tempted.
Okay.
Leave that center guard.
Okay, almost good. Third. Normal. Yeah.
Gonna try for the slash on this, I believe. Try and get a few reds going.
Scotland the Brave.
Worst comes to worst here, you peel the center, no harm.
Stuffs it.
Okay. Lucky, buddy.
Yeah, unlucky indeed.
Oh, yeah.
Watch the reaction of Bobby Lammy trying to read the line. Oh, I can't believe I didn't make that. So unfortunate. It's really hard to just jam it straight on an
It
angle like
is.
that.
That is absolutely correct.
3. Nesten inn. Ok, ikke rør da. Jeg setter seg der, altså. 3. Bra spill. Bra, Markus.
Interesting end shaping up. We haven't had a deuce yet in this game. Scotland's got the hammer. Lots of guards up. Good chance for the Scots to duck somewhere in there.
No. Yeah. Or do you want to come here? It's one of them two. Either or, don't mind.
It's on you, Bruce.
Is that Max?
No, I think that's nice.
A little bit of draw around the corner guard. They did look at trying that slash in again, but I like this call.
Yeah, it's a little bit further off the center line than the last guard was. It's Grant Hardy at 95% so far this game.
Close line. Right on. Waist good. Gotta go line.
89% on
Back it. All there.
Lots of weight.
outturn draws.
Lots of weight. This one's sliding deep. Will it stay in the rings? Hardy pensively watching this one.
There you go.
And that tells you what happened. Stays in the rings, but it's second shot.
It's the elusive quicker to the wings.
Yeah. Play a lot of stones in, outside in, but when you go inside out, sometimes you're on a pressure path, Allie.
Absolutely. So something we've been seeing throughout the week as well, and you hear comments here and there like, oh, right, we're going to the wing. Yeah, of course, it's quicker.
That's why we're in the back of the 8-foot again.
Yeah. Marcus Højberg, 90%.
Nice shooting by both teams in this game. As you'd expect, both of these teams nears the top of the pack in this 13-team event.
Yeah, and they are at a world championship for that reason.
Yeah. These guys are good. They're trying to sweep this stone deep in the rings. It's going to come to rest in the back of the 12-foot.
What a fantastic amount of curl. He just narrowly missed that corner red stone. Overburies it. Just goes to show you how difficult these shots are, even if they look simple.
There's a quick line down there.
It's always tougher on the ice than it is from watching.
Yeah, it's pretty easy up here.
Yep.
Tough down there. Grant Hardy.
Exactly.
Close line. Waist nice. Top 4. Whoa, line's good. Line only.
Scotland really haven't nailed a come around yet in this game other than that stone of Mowat's in the 4th end, but great chance here to set something up. Well by the guard again, though. Not a great line. Trying to wrap it as far as they can. Good brushing gets them half buried, but another opportunity slightly gone for the Scots.
Think you're tight? Huh? Think you're tight? Think you're tight? Yeah, I think you're tight. I thought I heard a line call.
Team just comparing notes on both the direction and the weight.
Jeg liker rulle ut, egentlig.
Ja. Vant pluss, bestemt vant.
Ok.
Tror du det er skjær?
Ja.
Det er kanskje.
Nei, det ikke.
De har stått og surret litt av dragningene her, da, men
Det som vinner det.
jeg tror det er bra likevel, det.
Ok.
Vant. Ja.
Så lege.
Yellowstone belongs to Scotland. Top of the 4-foot. Half of it's open.
Jeg tror du skal køle inni her.
Ser helt perfekt ut for meg.
Du vant.
All kinds of house for Stefan Mazda to roll to. They could be lying 3.
At 70% so far this game, though, struggling a little bit.
Yep, so a bit of a scrappy morning.
Just wants to make sure he doesn't hit this thick enough to catch his back red stone, but so far so good. Looking like it's gonna be a nice roll. Maybe too far.
Okay, bra, Stefan.
Well, hangs on for 3rd shot, so Norway, if you're thinking force,
I think so. Top 4.
Yep, top 4.
not a bad
T-line's not bad.
stone setup, but still the whole house virtually to draw to for Mowat. Can he be the one that can get one behind that center guard? Heard him say top 4. That's where he wants it to come to rest. Front of that red 4-foot circle behind the center
Good
guard.
job, Bruce.
That slide I gave you.
Yeah.
Yeah, go really close to that. Nice positive throw as well.
65% for Mowat here this morning, so both of the skips having a tough time in the first half. Let's see if they can make their adjustments at halftime and bring it home strong. World Junior Champion in 2016.
Why go
Bruce
in
Mowat.
here? Line up again.
Line's good.
Think you can go, Harvey. Line's good. Line
So
only.
he's made the transition to men's play
Close. Line only.
quite quickly, and
Quick.
yeah,
There you go. Whoa. Line only. Whoa.
junior champ to a men's worlds in 2 years.
Top 4.
That's amazing.
Really is. The stone.
Good, Bruce. Good shot, Bruce.
Great weight. Just pops a little bit out on the outturn side, giving a little bit of a teaser for Wallstead. Maybe he can make a play at it.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely try and go for it.
Perfect weight. And you can see it's
Den siden her står litt mer å spinne, men
just over curled, so maybe a 1/3 of the rock will be visible for Stefan Wallstead
men
on this
tapper den
outturn
rett
side.
ned med dragning også, da. Altan? Ja. Altan er overhjem 50 nesten. Da må han være komfortabel med å gi bort 2 hvis du skal spille nå.
Mowat looks on. If I just would have stopped a foot earlier, he'd have nothing.
Treft opp den for 2 da. Ja, for det. Men når det skjer litt noen kis, så går det jo.
På riktig side.
Men det er jo det stemmer.
Jeg synes det er lettere å gå opp der, men jeg synes jeg prøver her. Hvis det var greiser og sånt, så
Coffee cups still accumulating on the bench. Looked to me like Stefan got down near the far hog line, turned around, had a look, didn't like what he saw quite as much angle-wise, so he came back for a second look as Mowat and Hardy look on.
I think they were trying to figure out what weight to throw at it.
Well, listen, you've noted that there's a lot of curl towards the board, so away from the boards, maybe worried if they step up the weight, it may just track straight.
Track, yeah, exactly.
Ja, det er bra.
The dilemma, you throw it soft enough to get a bit of curl, but hard enough to push it through the rings. There it comes.
Bringing nice control at this. It's close. I think he's got it. Is it going to push it through the rings?
That's the question. That's the question. How far is it going to go? No, it's going to stay in the back of the 8-foot. That was always the danger. You down the weight, hitting it on an angle. You lose the momentum and you leave the Scottish stone sitting on the back of the 8-foot. Now it's a draw for 2. So that come around draw of Mo, it's just good enough, forcing the miss from Wallstad. Robert shaking his head. That was it on that straighter path. Had to play the quiet weight. He could only see a third of the rock. Caught it thin. Now Moen's got the exact same shot that he just threw. Needs full 8-foot. Chance for the first multiple point end of this game for Bruce Mowat of Scotland.
Line only. Line's good. Line's good. Weight's good. Line's nice. T-line. Back T.
Sweepers like the weight.
We're top T. Back T. Weight's really good. Top T, you're good. Weight's good. We're back T. Yep. Got you nice, boys. Yeah, we're good.
Everybody's liking this.
Nice.
And that'll tell you why. Throws it cold right to the pin. 2 points for Scotland. Finally, the shackles are unbroken. The first deuce of the game goes to the Scots. They take a 4-2 lead after 6.
Good, boys.
His last one was slow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Las Vegas, that's where we are. You're joining us live at the 361 World Men's Curling Championship 2018, our feature game. Scotland versus Norway. Scotland holding now a 2-point edge after that big deuce in the 6th. Hans round up here with Alison Kreviazek, analyzing the coffee consumption patterns of the Norwegian bench.
We have a theory.
We do have a theory. It's kind of cool in here. Coffee can go cold quite quickly.
Maybe they're just not drinking it fast enough.
Yeah. We have a theory that there may be 3 half-consumed cups of coffee on that Norwegian bench.
Stay tuned for the interview while we investigate.
That's right. That'll be our post-game question for the Norwegians. McMillan throwing a very nice first stone right to the front of the button. Magnus Fabric. If you'd like to send us your coffee theories, by all means, tweet us. Let us know.
Okay. Ja, vi har fått da.
Sitt da. Da spiller Magnus.
Hold it.
Corner guard set. Not quite on the 6, pretty close.
That is pretty close.
It's in the Ali K approved corner guard zone.
That is.
Tommy McMillan.
Real tight. Line's good. Real tight. Bobby, if anyone.
Tommy,
Almost in.
only member of this team that's competed at the World Men's Curling Championships before. Competed in Oslo in 2016.
Hard!
Good, Tommy. Perfect.
Nice.
Perfect indeed.
Sitting short of the rings, it's in the free guard zone. This is one of the final events we'll be playing under the 4-rock free guard zone next year in World Curling. Switching to the 5-rock free guard zone.
Den er bra.
Solid fart. 8.
Jeg ser hard ut. Ren.
Sikker.
Ren
8.
på linje.
7. Bra fart.
Ren på linje.
Kan gå linje hvis du må. 9.
Nei, må ikke, men gjerne rent.
9.
Big end here for the Norwegians. They had the better of the play in the early part of the game, but Scotland have arm wrestled their way into the front.
Og spill.
Norway with the hammer here in 7, trying to get their pair, going around the corner guard. Nice shot. Let's look in at Sweden, China. Look at all the rocks in the forefoot. It's a party. It's like the VIP line. You gonna let me in? I don't know. Are you famous?
Whoa. Clean. Clean. Whoa.
Nicholas Adine looking to chopper one into the pin here somehow.
Rent. Rent. Yep. Whoa. 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 Push your rent. Yep. 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 Oh.
Well, there were 2 Chinese stones wedged onto the button, and he popped one of them off, but it's a steal for the Chinese. Single point steals may not get them to the finish line, but they're hanging in there. It's 9-2 for Sweden after 6 ends of play. Let's look in at the Netherlands and Switzerland. Yep, Van Dorp here with a draw for 2.
Den er bra. Den er bra.
Switzerland coming into this game
Start.
a bit of a roll, but
Clean
hitting
up. Clean up.
quite a speed bump in this one in the form of Jaap Van Dorp and his Netherlands teammates.
Hij gaat echt heel hard.
Looking to cash in the pair. Hard work by the Dutch front end. Brings that stone full into the 8-foot, so it is a pair for the Netherlands, and they take a 5-3 lead. Interesting.
So we should switch back over to
Real good.
our sheet. Norway making a really nice draw around their corner guard, so Scotland will just elect to throw the peel on it.
Bobby Lemmy with a nice job of that one. 2 yellow stones, lead stones and McMillan, lined up very nicely. Nedregotten.
Den er bra. 4. Okay, vil ha 5,5. Har du plass?
Looks like they're going to make a play into the stone
Hold man. Hold man.
Den er bra.
just on the front of the button.
Den er perfekt. 5,5. Yep.
Hard work by the Norwegian sweepers trying to drag this. You can drag it as long as 2 meters, really, with great sweeping. That is great sweeping.
Fantastic brushing.
What a great result. Perfect freeze.
14,5.
Nice job, Barbard. And Højberg.
Det fikk jeg så her.
Look at the work. Wrapping it around that center guard, and look how much it finishes. Almost right to the nose. Great shot. Another mixed doubles special there, Allie.
Yep.
Perfect freeze.
It's the beauty of the discipline.
Play that kind of shot a lot in mixed doubles.
Yep.
Hard ball.
Grant Hardy watching intently.
He's coming up. Gotta go.
One to the inside roll, pops the Norwegian stone out of the rings, rolls out himself. And now China saying finally, that's enough. Nicholas Edin, 10-2 winners, Team Sweden. Two-time world champions, Nicholas Edin, keeping their place at the top of the table, and they are looking dangerous.
As you can see, they have their alternate, Henrik Leek, out on the ice. Came in after the 5th end break.
Getting a little game time.
Yeah.
Sure, Henrik's enjoying that. He's got his own fan club here by the sounds of it. When he came on the ice, he got a bit of a cheer.
They did. I think they're actually up in the stands right now cheering away too. Got the Swedish Curling Academy up there.
Yeah, fans from all over the world here in Las Vegas this week for this tournament. It's fantastic. Good little tap bump there by the Norwegians. Just fractionally changing the angle. They push the stone back, and Grant Hardy's going to come down and take a look.
If you hit 3/4, it's nearly
It'll
spinning
still
out.
spin. And I suppose even halving it off is your probably air, isn't it?
Here?
Yep, like that.
Dan, can you get it with a run? Spin everything.
I'm scared it drags down onto the hill with a run.
Okay.
This is right shit. You got this.
I think this is it.
3/4 goes, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. They are locked on, but
7/8.
a bit of weight, I think it'll still go.
A bit of weight.
I'll get ready for the race, okay?
Scottish curler throw a bit of weight? You betcha.
In his legs?
No, like
No.
Basically wants to hit what he can see. Hit the top stone, 3/4, 7/8. Even though they are corner frozen, that would be enough to spin them out of the rings, thinks Grant Hardy.
Gotta go. Get back, Bob. Get back, Bob. Go on. That boy, Grant.
Beauty. Boom. There they go.
Goodbye, Redstones. All smiles there.
Give a Scottish curler a chance to throw a running shot,
Very brave ball.
and they will love it. Look at that. So close to the guard. Said he had to hit what he could see. Did all of that. Great shot.
Kjell in there! Shoot!
Norway now trying to wrap around that center. They got to get by the center guard. Just by it.
Really nice shot.
What a treat. What great shooting in this game.
Both teams just narrowly missing that tight center guard.
Looks like Mowat wants to run back the center zone, straight back.
Nose run. Stuff up.
You running it, Bruce?
Run.
Nose here, high.
Hey, hi. Right turn.
I turn you.
Take a set line.
Right on the nose, says Bruce Mowat. Wants to hit that center stone flush, drive it straight back onto the red stone. He knows he's going to lose his stone at the back.
Nail on.
As long as he hits it square, both of them will go.
No.
No immediately, says Grant Hardy. It might be a little bit wide.
Away, Hammy.
That one blows by everything.
Okay.
Usually the first sound you hear from the line caller gives you an idea of the result of the shot.
Ja, kjappe på vingen da. Ja, men kjappe på vingen da, Steffen. Kjappe den. Ja, det er bra. Kjappe på en dobbel da. Hvis det
Norway
strar
now with a
hit,
chance
så
to
slår
generate a
den
pair.
den.
No guards.
Ja,
however.
dobbel hvis vi kjappe på vingen. Ja, den ja. Ja, den kan du kjappe. Ja. Gi fram. Kanskje en prøver slapp som kvinn. Ja. Rulle et hår inn noen nå da. Enig? Er ikke riktig godt? Jeg vet ikke. Ikke ut, da, kan trykke.
Så godt som fronten kan få et kolt.
Har ikke så mye å si. Hva liker du best?
Den bakerste, uten å slå
Jeg tror ikke. Ja.
Og ut kanskje, egentlig.
Prøv en slashen, så risker den litt også, da.
Ja, han gjør det. 10-5.
10-5, ja.
Halstead looking on.
Ikke rør. Helt av,
Helt vekk.
Just looking for the nose on this one.
Just a little outside roll.
Pinsen gjør seg.
Trying to set the trap. Trying to build up a possible 3.
Like that, you play the big roll off that one and top it.
Yeah, I don't think you make a double. This is just all dragging into here.
I think we're almost playing that, aren't we?
Yeah, and just trying to change the angle. If you have a
Control.
I don't mind hitting the other one. He's got to make a shot. But
huh?
what are you thinking?
Yeah. Even just roll to it, right?
Try and move that back. Control.
Well, Scotland look at their
So
angles on the double takeout. We'll take a look in at the Netherlands and Switzerland. Lots
control
of
normal.
Dutch granite in the rings. Mark Pfister,
Run straight. There, normal.
big shot for him.
Are we going for the double or going for the...
Just control weight. Try and roll on top.
Right, okay.
6 teams will make the playoffs. Switzerland coming into this game at 4-3. They need this win.
Control.
Nicely played by Mark Pfister. Single point for Switzerland, but Netherlands holding a 5-4 lead, and they'll take the hammer into the 8th end.
Ja, goeie. Lekker boys, goeie force. Lekker bezig.
It's going to be an inside double takeout attempt here, and maybe just got a few options here, doesn't he, Ellie?
Yeah, absolutely. They talked about changing the angle a little bit, and
Super's backing right off of this one.
it's on the wrong side, or just stuffs it. Hits it nose.
Can we hang it in?
So Norway will just look to throw a nice control
Hva er det fart?
hit for 2
Litt hardere. Litt 11-5, ja.
Ja, men det går bra, det
to
da.
square things up here.
Yep,
Ja.
this to tie the game. Any contact, nose or brush side, should result in a pair for Norway. Dropped a deuce in the 6th and trying to get their deuce right back, right here.
11-5.
11-5. Forsiktig, forsiktig. Wow. Aldri. Ikke røk.
Ikke drag.
Quiet wait,
Rent. Bra.
nicely played. 2 points for the Norwegians. They catch it in. Stefan Mazda delivers the final stone, gets the pair. We are all tied up at 4 after 7.
Ja. Trener først, da. Skal du nærme først? Eller?
Back inside the Orleans Arena, the 361 World Men's Curling Championship 2018. Norway versus Scotland. We are deadlocked at 4. Live action. Hans Fratler here with Alison Kreviazek. A Thursday morning in Vegas. Coffees are going slightly cold here late in the games.
And the week is going by quickly.
Yes, it is. We are heading into the business end of the round robin. These teams playing 12 matches, 13-team event this year, 12-game round robin. A lot of debate about what the magic number is to get you into the top 6. Is it 7 and 5? Will 6 and 6 get you there? Maybe. These two teams are right in the thick of it. Scotland with a single loss coming into this game.
Waist good.
If they could close out this win today,
Real good waist.
would come close to guaranteeing their playoff spot.
Yeah, Scotland still has to play.
Tick shot attempt here by McMillan, and that is perfect. Look at that, great shot. Sorry, Allie, carry on.
No, it's excellent commentary. Scotland has to play China,
No chance.
Russia, and Switzerland.
Okay, so a toughish road home for Scotland.
Yep.
And we see how many McMillan, 84% for the game.
Chinese had a difficult game this morning, but they are a tough team.
Yeah, they can pull it out any time, and they can play against the best. They are a little bit hot and cold, but when they're on, they're really hard to beat. They got all the shots. So not all the way home and hosed for the Scots, even if they win this game, but a win here would be huge.
Step in the right direction.
Yeah, as it would for the Norwegians. Norway on 3 losses as Bruce Mowat looks on.
Yeah, it's tighter. I'll bend it. So
If they can win this one, they bring the Scots 1 game closer back to them and a chance to maybe overhaul them, because the tiebreak, there is no tiebreaker game here this year at the World Men's. Tie breaks, if there is one, for position is going to be determined by head-to-head record.
Waist a lot less.
So from a Norwegian perspective, you're hopeful that get the win here. Maybe Scotland suffers another loss, you win out. And on the head-to-head, if there's a tie with you and the Scots for something important, you will get the advantage because you won the game head-to-head. Another nice tick there by McMillan. Good end from Hammy Jr. Oh, we won't call him Junior. He's Hammy in his own right.
The next ranking procedure is the LSD. Currently Canada sitting on top. The Netherlands and then Norway. So Norway actually sitting 3rd. Sitting in a good place.
LSD, last stone draw. For you people new to curling, it's not the hallucinogenic drug. It's the stones that the teams throw before the game, at the end of practice, to determine who has last rock. So the primary tiebreaker is head-to-head records. If the head-to-head records can't separate them, and that happens sometimes when there's more than one team tied, in other words, 3 teams tied for 1 place and they're all 1-1 against each other, then you go to the last stone draws.
Yeah, okay.
Bottom line, it's always determined by skill on the ice. Magnus Nedregotten. Well, the scorekeepers didn't deduct that 1/10 of a point from Magnus earlier in the game. He's still
I was too harsh.
awesome.
Yep. Too harsh.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have me on scoring.
You're a tough scorer,
I
Ellie.
am.
High standards. Nothing wrong with high standards.
No.
Corner guards there for the Scots to
Det er kanskje
use.
lenge siden, altså, ikke?
But Norway throwing now. Nedregotten.
Den er bra.
Jeg ga han faktisk litt mer.
2. Og så lenger ut.
Just looking to replace this guard.
Yeah, I was about to say, Magnus, also a qualified ice technician, so he knows a thing or two about curling ice, not just throwing on it, but also preparing it. Well, lots of guards, nothing in the rings. Let's take a look in at Italy, Korea. Korea holding a 4-1 lead.
Half the weight up this like that.
Already a line one, but this looks like a possible shot for two for Amos Mosaner.
Wow, clean.
Just throwing control weight here, not the customary missiles that we're used to seeing from Mosaner.
Clean.
I like it. You're here for it, right only.
Makes the nose hit. Italy cashes in the deuce. That brings them back into their game. They're trailing by 4-3.
Hard line. It's close. Hard. Yes.
They didn't wrap that one around. They're just going to tick it. Get a decent plan B, hiding a corner behind the center, but they were trying to go around the corner guard.
All right.
Bobby Lemmy.
Yeah. Probably tightest ice. Yeah.
That was good feedback from Bruce. Just letting him know that he threw it well. Just maybe gave him a little bit too little ice. It's great to have that feedback, that honest feedback.
Yep, no prizes for being too kind to say you threw it okay if you threw it ugly. As a thrower, you want to know. You can make the adjustment. Nose hit. Bruce assuring Bobby that he did not throw it ugly. Threw it just fine.
Yep.
Comparison of the thirds. Level pegging at 89% between Marcus and Grant, both having a very nice game.
Wait's good.
Kind of opposite numbers, eh? 94 on draws, and then
Yeah.
they've got 94 on hits.
Looking for a roll. How far will he take it?
Ah,
Needed to catch
so
a
close.
hair thinner for the roll behind the guard. Grant Hardy. World mixed curling champion in 2017, Grant Hardy. Big brush by McMillan on the inside sweep, trying to hold the line straight. Bobby Lamb sweeping the to the wings, and McMillan and Hardy look on. It's Marcus Piper. His chance to go around the pile. Interesting call here, Ali.
Yeah.
Ignoring the Scottish stone in the rings and choosing to go around the center guard. Actually going to leave it short of the rings. Well, that's an interesting call.
Going hard for a possible steal here, perhaps?
Scotland has the hammer.
Then you play bigger weight, do that.
I quite like barrier at it, yeah.
Okay.
Would you not think about coming around the out-turn side and just go behind the center? They're going to make a play on this stone just delivered by Norway.
More ice, eh? Wait, sorry. No.
Scotland right now doesn't really have a lot of room to get in the house on either side. So
Nice swing, touch heavy.
just looking to do a little hit and roll on this one, I believe, as well.
Might be able to roll this one on the rings.
Stay with the roll, stay with the roll. Hard ball, hard.
No, he's never going to get there.
Good spot though.
Sorry.
That's all right.
It's made if you're on it. It's made if Hamilton's on it.
Okay, on it.
Just need to hit that one a little bit thinner.
And it might have got a little bit of forward action onto the rings.
Yep.
So decision time for Norway. Timeout's going to be called. Thomas Lovell will have to put down the coffee and come down onto the ice surface. Maybe he can bring the coffee with him. No, he wouldn't do that.
Det helt utenkelig å ta de to?
No drinks out on the ice.
No,
Men da må jeg nesten spille for å jamme inn og rulle til senter, da. For,
Hvis du får begge to, så må han dra bak der, da, eller?
Dra hit, da.
Ok, han må gjøre den perfekt,
og
da.
så drar vi, så skal jeg...
Og da har vi en bak sender, da har vi fortsatt en senter, da.
Ja,
Senter er ikke i spill. Nei.
De to gåla er der, eller her. Fort gjort at den jamma sitter igjen her, da.
There's Thomas.
Dobbelen er ikke litt
Jeg har spilt dobbelen av også, men da synes jeg like bra slag for to, da.
Han la dyp eller kort, så er det sant.
Så den er perfekt, så er det game over.
helt game over heller, da.
Vanskelig å komme
Se
seg
lobba en rundt.
Jeg liker garden personlig. Men. Hva liker du? Lasse? Jeg er 60-40, så det er liksom sånn...
Hva liker du best?
Feil vinkel.
Det er jo ikke så vanskelig, da. Det er jo tjukk hall, men det er jo...
Du kan
Jo, men
spille
jeg har
soft.
ikke noe imot å
Kan
spille
du spille
dobbelt
soft, da?
heller. Men jeg tror bare skyteren min ryker, og så har han like stort slag på 2. Ja, hvis jeg skal være sikker på dobbelen, så tror jeg skyteren min ryker.
4 stones to come.
Ja. Kan spille vanlig fart, liksom?
Uff. Det er et vanskelig slag, synes jeg. Det er myke.
Så det er ganske hardt, da. Den her skal helt ut dit. Den dit. Det er ikke noe lett dobbel.
Ja.
Den kommer til å miste masse fart.
Det er ingen andre plasser vi kan dra her på grunn av den senteren, ikke sant?
No idea has come to the top of the pile yet.
Ja.
Jeg vil ikke garden. Hæ? Ja, eller, nei, den lærer feil av.
Viktigste er linja, gjemme den.
Ja, der.
Han
After a long discussion, Allie, where they looked at a few options,
Vi kan være så redd for den høye
looks like it's
senteren.
going to be the draw around the center guard.
3.
It's a long center. That's why they don't love it immediately to make this play. Even if they make it great, still going to be available for Scotland. We heard Stefan Mazda saying, if we make a mistake here, it could be game over for us.
I think they're actually just throwing the tight.
You're going to throw one more guard?
I think so.
Wow, okay.
I could be wrong, but I think that's what.
So this is an
He's
all-out
decided.
play for the steal here. If that's the play, we're going to know in a minute.
I think the idea is that if they throw it tight, if Scotland were to peel that top one, then they'd have that tight one left. But
Clips the front.
this is getting junky.
Jeg skjønner ikke om vi går den veien
It's
der.
got to be time for Scotland to go in. Got a chance for a 3 now. Cash a 3 in this end. Game over. Norway will still have shots. All the red stones on the right-hand side. They're running candidates.
We'll have shots. We'll have something like...
Well, do you want to come here
Ja.
and leave him the hole?
Yeah.
If it makes it, you
It's almost no hole.
Drop your one.
I'm not convinced there is a hole.
Probably just, but
Yeah, let him
Okay.
throw at the
Let's
hole.
try and over curl.
Bobby Lemmy saying, no hole there.
He found a hole where
He
we
did.
didn't think there was a hole earlier, though.
you
So
bite the 4, no more.
Okay.
It's true.
You might come right round this as well.
deceiving.
Yeah. Okay.
If we go top 4...
There's no hole for anybody but me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it would be too overburied here, but
There's Murdoch. Hannah looking on from the bench. Coffees are put aside now. Intense focus.
there before is probably good, actually.
Great opportunity for Scotland.
No, ice. Yeah, ice was perfect before. Is that the same as you took?
Is that the same as before?
It's giving you there.
I think that's all right.
I like that.
Okay.
It's better.
Sure don't want to flirt with the center guard. That would be disaster.
And need to make sure that you stay above the house as well. You would hate to go behind tee and give Norway the opportunity to freeze down on top of it.
Line's good, Hammy.
They like the line.
Top 8, top 4.
Lots of weight.
Bite the 4.
Weight's perfect.
Hammy for biting the 4.
Lots of weight.
Weight's good.
I've got you nice.
No,
Bobby.
Never.
don't want to.
Never.
No.
Just to the tee line.
Well, let's see. Do they think there's a hole?
Even pegging for the skips as well.
Nope. He will not even look at that hole.
Yeah, that would be
That would be a risky call.
brave with occasional gusts to suicidal to try and go through the hole.
14 mann, tycker jag. Vad vill du?
Even if you were to not get shot stone but sit kind of on the corner a little bit, it would choke off that draw path.
Frysen er helt ok.
Force Scotland to take their single.
Ja, litt rett linje, selvsagt.
Mowat cleared the guard pretty handily.
Høyt på 13-tallet eller noe sånt da.
So Wallstad can think T-line and his sweepers maybe sweep for a bump and maybe leave him lying one. That stone of Mowat's just 2 feet heavier than he wanted it. Big shot here.
Yep, yep. 8, 9, 9.
Jumped it out of his hand. Thought maybe he was a bit tight.
Sklia. Der for sent. Lang kølle. Okay.
This is
Well by the guard, and he's got a bit of pace. Has he got contact? Just bumps it and sits in the open. It will be available for Mowat to make a play. Just that 2 feet of weight, and Wallstad knows it. He's given his opponent a chance to make a
yeah,
hit for 2 and maybe 3, and 3 might be lights out.
Ugh. Normally, I mean, the sweepers would stay close if it was, okay, it's wide, let's sweep it around it, but they knew that one was going through the house, so not much you can do at that point.
There's the brush position. That tells me that Grant Hardy thinks there's a clear path to the rock for Bruce Mowat. Can he cash it in? Intense focus from Mowat. Just gentle weight. McMillan jumps it immediately.
Level heavy. Yep. Weight's good. Yep.
Right to it.
This one's moving. Oh, well swept by McMillan, and it is a 3-point end for Scotland. Huge in the contest of this very close game. Bruce Mowat nose hit with the last after a nice come around draw to set it up. Cashes in the 3 after 8 ends of play. It is Scotland 7 and Norway 4.
See all 3 of them draws he's thrown in that line. I've got 14-2 on. Pace is still good. Nice.
Scottish fans very happy after that 3-point end, giving their team a 7-4 lead at the 361 World Men's Curling Championships. We are live on a Thursday morning from Las Vegas, Nevada, curling in the desert. Hans Frauenlab here. I'm joined by Ali Kreviazek. And Allison, huge end.
That is a 3-pointer in the 8th end. That you can't help but feel. Well, if you're Norway, you can't feel like you got to feel like the game is slipping away from you a little bit here.
Bruce Mowat made a really nice come around on his final stone. Just left it on the tee line, and Stefan Wallstad had a chance to make a gentle play down to it, just fractionally heavy. Bumped off, sat in the open. Mowat cashed it in with the nose hit. 3 points on the board and a huge gap. This game has been so close, back and forth, tight, trading ones, lots of forces in the early part of the game. Here in the second half, more rocks in play, more 2s, and a huge 3 by the Scots.
Yeah, we're going to see the Scots not playing around this end. They're going to try and keep it as open as possible. And on the flip side, Norway's going to be junking it up as much as they can.
Should sit here.
Fine. Well, weight's good.
Yeah, lead stone placement for Norway is going to be really important. Hammy McMillan having a very nice second half of the game. He made 2 great ticks in the previous end and throws that one right in the front of the button. Magnus Hallback. A Scottish win would keep them level pegging with Canada, who are not playing this morning. Canada will play this afternoon. McMillan just going to throw this one through. Not even going to try the tick shot.
That first one's definitely sitting there.
Scotland defeated Canada head-to-head.
In a very, very tight game.
Yep.
We've had a lot of tight games out there. Many, many that have gone to extra end.
So if we ever got into a situation where Sweden had a little bit of a slip and lost another game, and Scotland and Canada were sitting on one loss at the top of the standings, the tie break would go to Scotland on the head-to-head basis.
Well, Sweden and Canada have yet to play each other in
That's
the
true
round
too.
robin.
One of those teams will go to a second loss. You're absolutely right.
Bra spel.
2 corner guards stacked up for Norway. 4 rocks have been delivered. So Bobby Lammy. No free guard zone rule now, so bombs away for Scotland.
Good ball.
Clears the top stone. Let's take this opportunity to catch you up with what's happening elsewhere here. Switzerland, Netherlands. Yellow stone belongs to the Swiss. Final stone coming up here for Jaap van Dorp of the Netherlands. Playing in the 8th end. Control of the even ends late. Strategically really important in curling. So Van Dorp, even though this is a shot for one, this is a big one. Just jam their own. But they do hang around the edge of the button. Almost a 2. But a single point for Jaap van Dorp. Netherlands leading that one 6-4. Now we're looking in at Italy and Korea. And look at that. 5 Italian stones in the house. So. Kim Chang-min. He's done so often this week. Has to come up with the big shot on this final stone.
좋아, 좋아. 워, 워. 좋아, 클린해. 라인 좋아, 진짜 좋아. Yes! Yes! Hard.
Kibok Lee on the inside sweep, trying to hold this one straight. Right on the nose, nice shot by Kim Min Chang. Single point for the Koreans. They're leading at 5-3. In our feature match, Scotland holding a 3-point lead over Norway. Norway has a corner guard, they're using it, trying around it. Situation for Scotland here, Allison, where you've got the luxury of a situation where if you give up 2, normally that's a bad thing, but in this situation, you'd still be 1 up with last rock playing 10. That's not a bad place to be.
That is a very good place to be. So far, so good for the Scottish team. Clearing out the guards that have been placed out front. Still sitting 1 on the forefoot that eventually Norway is going to have to make a play on.
The first stone of the end that was delivered by Hannah McMillan. It's been sitting there ever since.
Hello. Kom igjen. Har. Rent.
Corner guard goes back up and away it goes again.
Well, Bruce Mowat wasting no time. He knows what the game plan is. Guards will kill you. You're having a lead. Wasting no time.
And away, boss, and away. Should be fine.
Corner guard cleared. Being swept over to the barrier. Boink. And it comes off. As soon as the stone touches the foam on the side, it comes out of play.
You mentioned thinking time
Yeah.
in the beginning of the game. Both teams with ample time to spare. Norway with 7 minutes and 30 seconds still left on their clock, and 7 minutes and 45 left for the Scottish team. They will not need to worry about that.
Yeah, that's a comfort. Sometimes when you come into that 10th end with 1 or 2 minutes on the clock and you're rushing everything, that's a bad situation. It's not going to happen in this game.
Seen a few games so far this competition with 5 seconds to spare, 10 seconds to spare.
Run to the hack and throw it.
Yeah, no time to think, just get in and throw.
So Norway setting it up well. They've got their stones parallel in the back of the 8-foot circle, even though Scotland is lying 1. One small mistake from the Scots and the 2-point hit is still very much on for Norway.
Solid throw, buddy. Solid throw.
Do you want to roll a stone?
Okay.
Light ice.
Target rush being held by Grant Hardy for Scottish skip Bruce Moore.
Nice weight.
Keep your head down, Grant.
Weight's good.
Yeah, you're down. Weight's good.
23 years of age. What a bright future this team has.
Coming off it. Coming off it.
Bobby Lammy trying to hold the inside line. They'd like a 1 rock inside roll.
Good
Good.
shot. Nice
It's
shot.
about exactly what they get.
That half, eh?
Nice, Bruce.
Coming
Same
off.
as mine, yeah.
Lightly weight, but I just say it was coming off.
Yeah.
Good. Nice throw. Good.
After that bit of input from Dave Murdoch, and of course a 3-point lead helps as
Coming
well.
off it. Coming off it.
Lots more chat and communications between the Scots in the second half of the game, I think, Ellie.
Good.
Yeah, and I think that was all, well, maybe not all, but definite thanks to the head coach, David Murdoch. Came out and said to the guys that it just maybe feels a little bit flat.
Yep.
We need to kick it up a notch.
Kick it up they have. There's Dave Murdoch in the center of our screen. He's enjoying himself here in Las Vegas, I'm sure. 1 coffee cup, 2 coffee cups to the right of our picture. Norway's put the coffee cups away.
Yeah, they cleared their bench. Nice and tidy.
Yeah, that's the way we want to keep it. Mullet and Hardy look on as Stefan Mazda is in the hack, lining this one up. But getting that 1 rock inside roll just makes the possibility of a double takeout much harder for the Norwegians. Just a nose hit. Mowat knows Norway needs the pair.
Nose is good, no?
Hey, you want to roll it back?
First
Call it
job.
nose. Yeah, sorry. Roll a wee bit.
First job, get rid of the rock.
Hang on, he's a
Yep.
double.
Make sure you don't jam.
Okay. Same throw.
Having a little bit of a roll here. It's going to make the double
Think so.
that much harder for the Norwegian team. If you were to try and angle it on the high side, then your shooter's going to roll out. The only option then is to throw it thin, and
Then you
that,
risk the jam.
yeah, this one's
Sweeping for
floating a
curl.
bit.
This one is taking its time making a move. Wants to stick around. Well, he lines up the double. Did not want the roll to the outside, but that's what they got.
Just heavy.
Yep.
Just heavy, we heard. A little extra weight, track straight.
Sorry, it just came out heavy.
Not made yet.
Just like you said, though, a 2 here is not the end of the world for the Scottish team. They'd still be up 1 with hammer going into the final end.
60 som inte är akkurat. Ja.
70 är bra.
75. 70-75.
Looks like an easy double, but this stage of the match with this kind of pressure on, nothing really easy here. These stones are pretty close together. And there we look at the Norwegian bench. Thomas Loveld. Oh, he needs another coffee. Starfling a yawn. It is early.
It is.
To make the double, he's going to have to hit probably, gosh, a little more than half on the inside. He plays it on the outside, he runs the risk of rolling off the rings. Last stone on its way, double takeout. Needs to make the double and stick to score 2. There's the pair. Does he stay on the rings? Just 2 points for Norway. Double takeout. Nice shot there by Stefan Mazda, keeping them in the game. Crucial deuce for the Norwegians. They're hanging on, but Scotland leads it. They'll take the hammer into the 10th end with a 7-6 lead.
Cool. Do it. Jesus Christ. How many times?
We're back live in the Orleans Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada, the 361 World Men's Curling Championship 2018, session number 15, a top of the table match between Scotland and Norway, giving us everything you'd expect from a battle for playoff position. Hans Round, I'm here with Alison Kreviazek. This one's going to go down to the wire. Huge deuce by the Norwegians there in the 9th end, keeping them in the game. Long center guard being set.
Great start. Norway will be looking for a steal here. 1 to take them into an extra end, or 2 to win the game. Scotland not needing any points, so they'll be looking to keep this as clean as possible. And on this,
Amy McMillan trying to tick here. Free guard zone stone. You can hit it. You can move it, but you can't take it out of play. Here come the Norwegians to try and sweep it to the boards. Beaut. Great tick shot there by Amy McMillan. That will help your heart rate if you're Bruce Mowat. That first stone, getting it off the center line, critical in this situation. Great shot.
yeah, not only that, his shooter rolls to basically out of play.
8 foot wide open.
Yeah, draw shot still available on both sides with that tick. Fantastic.
So now Norway not in a situation where they can stack one high and stack one low because of the great tick by McMillan. Robert throwing this one tight to the rings, just coming fractionally off the center line. Brush position by Mowat at the bottom of our picture telling us, once again, please, Hammy. Little tick. Just give it a wee nudge, move it a smidge.
Yeah, just a smidge. Maybe more than a smidge.
More than a smidge?
Yeah.
Okay.
This one's moving.
Pushing the Norwegian stone. Will it go out of play? Norway trying to sweep it as far as they can, but again, perfect. Hammy McMillan, take a bow.
He's pleased with that one.
And he rolls a stone onto the rings as a saver, just as a bonus. Not that Scotland needs it. They're up 1. They've got the hammer here in the 10th. Magnus Nidrigotten. I'm going to miss calling Norwegian games.
I'm sure he's going to miss listening to you as well.
Very nice center guard there. He's had a fantastic game. Free guard zone, part of the end is over, and there's Magnus. Bobby Lammy now free to throw running takeout weight, trying to clear guards.
Keep up.
Letter perfect so far for Scotland here in the 10th end. 2 perfect ticks and now a perfect clear by Bobby Lammy. 8 foot still wide open. So Scotland liking what they're seeing so far. Looks to me like Wallstead would like Nedergaard either throw a corner guard or even wrap one around that stone in the top 12 foot.
I heard 8
Yeah,
on that one, so
into the rings.
we will be coming around.
I like this call. Nothing really happening up front. Get something in the rings behind cover and then just try to half expose and kind of creep the stone nearer to the pin as you go. Stone is going to slide half behind cover, just past the tee line. Nice shot.
And that is zone 8, just like they wanted.
Just like they ordered it. Dial it in. Bobby Lammy trying to dial this one in. Trying to run his own stone back into the Norwegian rock, but he blows it by. First mistake of the end for the Scots. Something to work with now as we look in on Netherlands and Switzerland. Stone on the left of our screen just biting the rings, so possible 2 here for Switzerland to tie it up. Mark Pfister. See that stone on the left of our picture just biting the 12-foot circle. That's enough. Easy nose hit. That's a deuce on the board. That game's tied after 9. Netherlands will have the hammer in the 10th, all tied up. And Italy and Korea. 3 Korean stones in the rings facing Amos Mosaner. Sweepers like it. The Italians. Matornas likes it. Said the line was good. Needs a piece of the 4-foot. Going to slide past. Will it stop? Will it stop? Yes, it does. Single point for the Italians. Korea leading that one 5-4 after 9. Now feature match, Norway, Scotland. Clearing the center guard, nearly picking off the stone on the wings of the Norwegians. That would have been a bonus.
You were close.
Grant Hardy so near to clearing the guard and killing the Norwegian rock at the same time.
Yeah.
Something to work with here for the Norwegians, Allie.
Definitely. Bobby's that they tried to throw the run back and actually rolled. Even though they are shot stone, it's still technically a center, guard position that Norway can use later to try and wrap one around. But they're going to try and delay this a little bit, so throw some center guards up. Try and make a great one later.
It's always a situation where if you're Norway, you know you need to steal your way into an extra end, but if you can ever get the situation where you're forcing Bruce Mowat to look at 2 stones on the last one, and all of a sudden you're in the hack thinking, if you missed this one badly, you could lose the game. It's a whole different psychology. Grant Hardy making a run right off, says Mowat. Just going to make a single clear. Again, no action on the stone in their house, so center's open, but Norway still having something to work with, and here's the decision. Do you pull the trigger now, or do you wait for the final stone?
Well, if you were to come around now and they get a missed run back, then you get the opportunity to throw another one on the top. Then you're looking at a bundle.
Yeah, they can look at 3 on the last one. That's a possibility.
If
you throw the guard now, you run the risk that Mowat says, okay, fine, I'll go around first. Just hit the open stone. Sounds like the guard.
Yeah.
I don't know. Guard, same in Norwegian as it is in English? It probably is.
I'm assuming so.
All right. So Wallstead will wait till his final shot to have a chance to wrap around that stone on the top of the 8 foot. Norway has to steal to force an extra.
Eller tror du ikke det?
Nei, jeg tror ikke det. Egentlig linja har vært fin på.
Ja.
Do you like this call, Ellie?
I think I like coming around. How about you, Hans?
Yeah, same.
Yeah. I think that even if you, let's say you only bury a piece, even if Scotland decides to pick it out, it gives you another chance at throwing the exact same shot that you just had.
Well, he does make the guard. What? No hesitation. You saw him drop his brush by the center guard on the way back to the hack. He's going to try the clearing shot, run the red on an angle, back and to the right as we're looking at it, and hope to clip off the Norwegian stone in the back of the 8 foot in the process. If he can make that, Norway will still have the come around, but it'll reduce the pressure a lot.
Clean. Yep. Whoa.
They're close.
Get it.
There's one. Just by it. Just had to curl a fraction more.
Oh. So close.
Bruce Mowat.
He would have loved to have that extra red in the house. Again, if he wraps one around and if Bruce were to throw a run back, that other red is going to be out counting his shooter. So could be for 2.
Yep. Steal at 2, the winning point. Changes the shot selection dynamics entirely for Mowat. Takes you away from thinking about run back to maybe just a soft,
the draw.
or a soft tap back.
Yeah. Mind you, if there's one thing that Bruce is that he can excel at, it's his draws. He is a solid touch player.
Well, Norway have made the most of their limited opportunities here in the 10th end. Engineered it for this chance to draw around that yellow stone in the front of the 8 foot for Stefan Mazda. So they've got enough room. It's going to be all about the weight.
Skipper saying it's got a ways to curl. See if you can leave it as long as possible, but
comes to rest the back of the button. Force shot, but Bruce Mowat immediately, with no hesitation, just pats his brush right on the button. Says, I'm just going to draw. Not even a skerrick of a thought of a run back.
No, you do not want to chance that
Weight's still good here.
with this in the back of the house as well.
More?
Norway line 1.
Do you like that?
Yep, that's
With
fine.
this call, there's no way that you can lose the game. You're already lying second shot.
If Scotland miss, extra end. If Scotland make, they win the game.
Nice throw.
Stefan Mazda can only watch.
I like it.
You need to go.
Like it. It'll be good.
Sweepers like it.
It'll be good.
Line's good.
Line's really good.
Yes. I don't like. Why only got repairs?
Making a move now.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Back four. Run. Go back four. Clean it in. Clean it in.
Oh, fantastic shot by Bruce Mowat. Drills it onto the button for the winning point. Scotland roll along. Bruce Mowat delivering under pressure to the delight of the Scottish fans in the stands. Scotland keeping it going. Great final shot by Bruce Mowat to clinch the victory. The final score is Scotland 8 and Norway 6. Great performance by this Scottish team. A huge three-point end in the 8th, giving them the advantage. And they brought it all the way home. Great final stone by Mowat. Lots of Scottish supporters have made the trip to Las Vegas to support their team, and they are delighted. Young team, all in their early 20s, and here they are on the cusp of clinching a playoff spot at the World Men's. Playing and beating the very best in the world. Great win for Scotland this morning. Pulsating morning of curling here at the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas, and let's look in at the end of this game. Netherlands, Switzerland tied up at 6. The final stone of the game on the way for Jaap van Dorp of the Netherlands for the win. He likes it, picks it off, great shot. Netherlands are the winners. Knocking off Switzerland. What a huge win for the Netherlands. Disappointment for Switzerland, 8-6 the final. Jaap van Dorp. Solid victory over the Swiss. Let's look in at another close game. This one is now in an extra end. The Italians stealing a point in the 10th to tie it up at 5. Extended coverage for you here from the Orleans Arena.
Okay. Va bene ancora lì, eh?
Italy stealing a point in the 10th to force the extra end. Long center guard, set by Daniele Farazza. Leaky Bok. The Korean lead. Prepares to throw his first stone. These all-important attempted tick shots we saw just in our feature game between Scotland and Norway are crucial in these situations. The Italians preparing to sweep their stone. They want to try to get all the way to the boards. If it taps the boards, it comes back. Oh my goodness. It just stays in play. Look how close to the sideboards it is. What an amazing shot by Leaky Bok. Daniele Farazza.
Buona. Uno. Easy. Uno. Linea buona. Uno più.
Amazing tick by Lee Keebok. Look at the red stone on the right hand of our picture. So close to touching the sideboards. If that had touched the sideboards, it would have come all the way back and be replaced.
아 진짜 그래 보여. 엑스트라인데 지금.
Limite uguale.
Lee Keebok is going to be asked to try and tick the center stone again.
Back it. Yep. Whoa, yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah. Whoa.
Got some contact. Pushes it. Two great ticks by Lee Keebok. Very nicely done, Team Korea. Keeping the 4-foot circle open. Lee Keebok was really, really brave. He was doing the line call on that one. He was actually calling them off. And Kim Chang-min a little bit more conservative as Andrea Pilzer delivers for the Italians. And Kim Chang-min was much more worried about the shot that was thrown by Lee Keebok as opposed to the Italian rock that was moving. Regardless, two fantastic shots. Long center guard set up here by Pilzer, trying to set up some jams on clearing stones that the Italians know are surely coming now. Kim Min Chan. Gonna hit this one pretty thin. Gets a little bit of action on another corner guard. Pushes the Italian stone into the rings. So it's a good news, bad news situation for the Koreans. They open it up a lot more, but they push an Italian stone into the rings. All things considered, Korea's pretty happy with that. Center of the sheet is now wide open for them. Andrea Pilzer.
Linea buona.
Due meno.
Linea buona per due.
Buona due.
Linea
Due
buona.
più.
Clean.
2 più 3.
Ok. Linea buona.
2 più 3.
In giù adesso,
2 più 3.
Come par 3.
2. Ottimo. Sempre guarda. Whoa! Oh! Whoa! Kurt! Good.
Another excellent clear by the Koreans. Two perfect ticks, two perfect clears. One Italian stone sitting in the back of the 8-foot. That's the only blemish so far from a Korean perspective. Italy has to steal. We are in an extra end.
Due.
Down to thirds stones now.
4.
Italian skip, Joel Retornes, who does throw the third stones for Italy.
Linea buona. Spazio un po'. Dai un po' di spazio. Linea buona. Peace.
Trying to set things up for a possible steal.
E lassù. Ok. Linea buona. Linea buona. Non serve finirla. Ok. Tira. Yep.
Still trying to keep these guards fairly high.
Buono.
Nice shot. Retornes looking on.
너무 멀어.
Kim Chang-min just sneaking a peek over his shoulder as Seong Se-hyun throwing huge weight.
Good.
Does he get any action on the back stone? No, but he does clear. That's job one. Keep the front open. An Italian stone in the back of the 8-foot. Might be something that when they get to the conclusion of the end, Italy might be happy to half guard that full 8-foot.
Yeah,
Give
either
Kim
that or
Chang-min a chance to make the choice between throwing a draw or throwing a double takeout.
exactly, or just kind of going just off the center line and So that it's like you see maybe just all of that back one. Enough to tempt you.
Yeah, throw the nose hit. Oops, a little bit wide, a little bit roll out.
Exactly.
Kim Chang-min again looking behind him, calculating where on this stone he could hit. As Seong Se-hyun delivers it. He would love to get a little bit of action on that stone in the back, but primarily worried about clearing the guard. No action on the stone in the back this time. The Italians will patiently throw guards. Now it's the turn of Amos Mosaner. Next round, the teams get a fresh allocation of time, and they also get a timeout if they need it. Added to their allotment.
Linja buona. Spazio. Ok. Aspetta un po'.
As much as I like saying Norwegians and lames, I love listening to Italian line calls. Linea buona. Good line.
Okay.
A little bit deeper.
Just biting the top of the 12-foot, so a chance here for Kim Chang-min to maybe double them off.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier.
We're going to have a talk about it, though. Say, well,
반 3분의 2 스트레이트다.
Yeah.
안 되면 4분.
Go for the top one. You go for the back one. Italy's just going to come around the one they just threw.
that'll be way better.
Yep.
Exactly right. In this situation, you would never not play the front stone.
3분의 2. 3분의 2. 안 되면 타이트하게 해서.
Just deciding which side of the stone they want to hit as Retornas and Mosaner are discussing. If they do that, what are we going to do? That's the delight of curling. You're always thinking 2 or 3 shots ahead. If they do that, we'll do this. If they do this, we'll do that. Kim Chang-min composing himself as he enters the hack. He knows if he can double these ones off, he's going to make his last shot a whole lot easier. Calling for the sweep immediately. They're close. There's one. There's two. Does it gonna spill out of the rings? Will it go out of the rings? Yes, it will. Fantastic shot. Kim Chang-min, double takeout. Clutch.
That is a game winner right there. Italy having no choice but to draw now to the 12-foot.
Yep, they're going to draw around to the right-hand side behind the yellow corner guard. That's the only cover they've got, which will leave Kim Chang-min draw to the 12-foot to win the game. What a great double takeout there by the Korean skip. Amos Mosaner has to nail this one. Give them any kind of a chance. He needs to get under cover.
Maybe a little quicker to the wing.
Yeah, Peltzer and Ferrazza not going anywhere near it. Look at that. They're walking behind the stone. They think it's heavy.
Is it through the house?
If it's through the house, then Kim Chang-min's heart rate will drop a ton. Because he will just have to draw the open house for the win. That relieves the pressure mightily as Mosaner looks on despondently. He knows he's made the task so much easier for his opponent now. Retornas can only watch Seong Se-hyun trying to keep calm, holding the brush after the big weight double takeout now. And Kim Chang-min dial in the draw weight, just has to hit the paint. Anywhere in the circles, Korea win the game. Psychologically, sometimes harder to hit an open house than to draw against something where you're sharply focused. But tell you what, Kim Chang-min will take it.
천천히 와.
The crowd clapping encouragement. Sweepers thinks it has enough weight. They're not laying a brush to it. It's into the rings. Will it stop? Absolutely, it will stop. Full into the button area for the win. Kim Chang-min and Team Korea with an extra end victory over Italy. Final score, Korea 6 and Italy 5.
Hej Bjørn.
Playing end number 7 between Norway and Scotland. Stefan Mazda of Norway with an easy tap for 2. And that ties the game up at 4. In the 8th end. The end that will turn out to be decisive if Bruce Mowat can convert this one. Chance to score 3. McMillan on the brushing, nails it right on the nose. 3 points for the Scots. Norway fighting to keep their hopes alive in this game. Stefan Wallstedt has to make a double takeout and stick to score 2. Wallstedt hits it on the high side, kills both the Scottish stones and just hangs on. They trail it by 1 in the 10th end, but Bruce Mowat would draw the button with his last for an 8-6 victory over Norway. Big win for Scotland. Here we see all of the session 15 matches. 8-6 victory for Scotland over Norway. Sweden thumping China by a 10-2 score. The Netherlands upsetting Switzerland by an 8-6 count. And Korea with an extra end victory, a thriller, 6-5 over Italy. And this is what it means for the standings. You're looking for the letter Q. That means that you have qualified for the playoffs. Scotland now at the top of the standings, 8-1, along with Sweden. Canada have also qualified. They're at 7-1. They're playing this afternoon. Norway falls to 6-4. Russia at 5-3. Switzerland at 5-4, Korea at 5-5. They're still alive in this one. China, Italy, Netherlands, United States, Japan, and Germany rounding out the standings here from Las Vegas.
Congratulations. How important was it to get a win here this morning?
Yeah, it was quite important for us. That was a good Norwegian team, and they're obviously doing quite well in the standings. So to get above them in the standings, to keep above them is the main thing for us right now.
What do you think your key to success was here?
We didn't have the best of start, so we kind of just stuck in as a team and made sure we were all positive and keep the adrenaline and motivation going. So that was probably a key moment for us.
And what do you think it will take going into your next game against Russia?
I think more of the same. If we get out the blocks a bit faster, that's probably what's going to be key for us there.
Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you.
Scotland rolls along. They've qualified for the playoffs. They've got a game against Russia this afternoon. Fantastic mornings curling here from Las Vegas. For Alison Kreviazek, I'm Hans Frauenlein and our entire production team. We've loved bringing you the action. Thanks for joining us for Las Vegas. So long for now.
Thanks.